Alright, we hit the go live button, do the sound check while I promote the stream to the peoples. Sorry, the start is a little delayed with a faction war type thing I have to go through every single matchup in round one to make sure nobody gets absolutely shafted off the bat, like Empire versus Dwarves or something of the like. No, there was just a giant patch, everything changed. Alright, we hit the go. And the audio sounds fine. Everything changed, so that is a little tougher. Did my best. If someone does get a matchup that they feel is disfavored, then, I mean, we tried. We really tried. Especially around Chaos Dwarves themselves, because we had one stream where I fought people who had tried Chaos Dwarves for the first time. Alright, I gotta go find somebody. Hang on. Hitman Hippo. You there. Hey, good doctor. I invited him to server. Should be here shortly. Okay. Hi, everybody. Did you win as against Chaos Dwarfs Bretonnia? Yes, but it was super, super fucking close. I have to find Houseplant's lobby. Houseplant, sent me the thing. On my way. Join with Clove. This one. I don't see anything, so that looks suspicious. That looks suspicious. Also, the camera's way up there. What up, dude? There's a lot going on. It's scary. Do I have a faction war blocker? Yes, I do. There it is. Blood, violence, turkey. Because Grease's Goldtooth is currently munching down in the blocker there. But I gotta find Houseplant's lobby. Why it no work? Weird. Well, my opponent and I figured that out. Let's take a look at today's bracket. Boop. We ended up with 59 players. I forget how many actually checked in, but it's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening. I think every faction is represented in here between all these people. I think I am down here fighting Houseplant, and his faction declared is Bull Centaur Renders, which I think means Chaos Dwarves, but still. I've also received messages from Hanodans and other players that they are quite strong. So yeah, big tournament today. Everything is best of one. Should slap through it pretty quickly despite all the participants. Alright, I'm just gonna host one and see if I can invite the Houseplant. Because I keep getting an unspecified error when I fight him. Map, what map are we on here? I am playing as the Skaven versus the Chaos Dwarves. Pillar of Bone, small map. I might get some Bull Centaur gaming. One of us may have to restart. I'm not going to. So, well, I will. Fine. Apparently there's a lobby bug or something. Did you win as Chaos Dwarfs against Bretonnia? I won as Bretonnia against the Chaos Dwarfs. It was very, very close. Hope the stream goes amazing. Thanks, Chaz. Cozy Warhammer stream? Yeah. Why'd you make the best What If player go against Bretonnia round 1? Guaranteed for Zinch round 2. It's like you want Charks to fail. Charks will be fine. Hey, Shinji. Alright. Sorry. Just having lobby bugs trying to get my opponent in. And I know I'm fighting Skaven versus Chaos Dwarf, so I can just start doing my build and not hold things up for a very long time. Skaven versus Chaos Dwarves. Wonder if patch 3.1 is going to be Chorf buffs. We'll see if they even need it. Maybe they're already OP and you just don't know. Maybe they're already OP. Maybe we're living in the OP times. Alright, Houseplan's here, we're fine. We big chillin'. Patch 3.1 will probably be 8 months or so, who cares? They did say... They said it would be in a couple weeks. So hopefully that's true. Alright, sorry, I'm just busy figuring out my build here. Okay. Yeah. We got it. 8 gold spend in the end, so. So the Chorf DLC is massive and rework. A lot of Legendary Lord campaigns didn't do it and deleted the post. That's fucked up. Alright. We're in. Quick update for anybody who cares. I have noticed there are, well, a lot of people have been talking around my Discord and stuff. There's some stuff from the beta patch that just didn't make it to live, and we're wondering if it's a bug or if, like, they had some balancing issues in practice or something. Don't know, but chariots are notably performing a lot worse, so are cavalry and single entity monsters, than they did in the beta patch. And to me that sounds like, and it seems like from some testing, that for some reason the charge changes got reverted. Again, I don't really know any details, this is just circumstantial from like, I tested this and it felt like this. It feels like the charge changes got reverted so that the unit aims, your unit that is charging aims for the front of whatever you're charging again, not the middle. So chariots hit the first thing and they're like, we did it, and stop. Similar with cavalry, they hit the first thing and they're like, we did it, and stop. And then obviously same with big single entities. So that is disappointing. We'll see if it is unintended and CA will implement it very soon with a hotfix or the patch in a couple weeks, or if it is intended and they just didn't like what happened to the meta in early access with charges and stuff. We'll see. I don't have answers for you. All I know is if you're like, oh, I watched your early access video and you said chariots are really good, and then chariots are not really good. I am as in the dark as you are, and Sorry. So that's all I got. Okay. As for the build, I do have some Giselles to force my opponent into me. I have a warp grinder in case my opponent makes good on his threat to just spam. In case he makes good on his threat to just spam bull centaurs. We do have some Eshin triads. We do have a net to try and keep him in place. He has a model count of 459. Okay. It looks like he is just trying to spam bull centaur renders. I have heard this unit is OP apparently. And I don't want to be an asshole, but I have had issues in the past with certain individuals of this type that find something that's broken and to prove a point spam the shit out of it. I maybe used to be in RTK and I might have possibly left over such behaviors. So this is disappointing, but we'll see how the game goes. And if they don't like what I'm saying, prove me wrong, because it's fucking happening right now, again. Anyway. Cough, cough, Warline Chariots, yeah. So we'll see. I don't know, I'm not the type of person to like pussyfoot around something and it's like, oh, someone's being a dick, but I don't want to cause any trouble, so I'll just hush. It's like, nah, you're gonna be a dick on stream, I'm gonna call you out on it. Anyway. We are moving up. We'll have purple globes counter fire those bull centaur renders yet again. We'll see about charging up on these bull centaurs. If we can keep them on things. Okay. I'm gonna try and use Wither and discourage these guys. Alright, Bull Centaur renders are charging straight into halberds. Hopefully that will deter them. These guys are gonna go fight this. Skrulk needs to walk over here. You need to turn back around. There's a blob to punish. We'll see how this goes. I do have purple globes. Hopefully they're enough to hurt this blob that's forming. Alright. Gotta get these warp grinders out in front. Okay. Fall back, fall back. Purple globes taking out these renders. Eshin triads chasing those other ones. Damn it, those renders are gonna hold on. Okay. I gotta shoot them with my Giselles for a second. There's the AoE debuff. Hit this guy again. I missed the chance to net these guys, so I do need to back up and go do that. Warp Fire Thrower attack. I'm gonna cast another Wither here for the armor debuff, but also for Plague Rash, my army passive. Purple globes are gonna deal with those bull centaurs. Giselles are still firing. And I need something to get in the way of these bull centaur renders. Turn and fire, you're not gonna outrun them. Shit. Okay. Doing good though, we're way up on damage value, which is super nice. Bull centaurs are over here. Hopefully with warp fire throwers we can push them off. Assassin, rival high talisman, take care of them. Alright, GG. Not GG, sorry. Whatever. We are up quite a bit on damage value. These Giselles are about to die, so they just need to fire what they can, but they used all their ammunition, which is usually pretty good for a ranged unit in general to use all of its ammunition. Skrulk's doing his best to peel off Astrogoth. Warp Fire Throwers are doing their best to help with these purple globes. We have Rat Ogres attempting to chase everything off. Assassin go after that. But you guys can beat the Bull Centaur renders. 47 seconds on another AoE spell that can really hurt these renders and Astrogoth. Okay. 7 seconds on standard ground, which will help a bit. Skrulk, keep on him. Okay, Bull Centaurs are back in the trees. All these Bull Centaurs are gone, so Rat Ogres come home. Stand your ground to help out a little bit. No, my things broke before I even got there. Okay, Assassin did good. Chasing them down. You guys come back home. Warp Fire Throws broke for no reason, which is fine. Purple Globes trying to deal with these Bull Centaurs, but they're Bull Centauring. Okay. My Assassin can't catch Astrogoth, he's faster. That's pretty funny. Okay, so at this point he's gonna pick off everything and chase him down. Is this an even matchup? I don't know. It's too early to tell. I would think it's Skaven favored, with Bull Centaur renders being super strong and Hobgoblin Riders also being strong, though we took literally none of them. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to catch them, but we are peeling them off of our Purple Globes. The Purple Globes will come back. Also, Astrogoth got stuck. Astrogoth got stuck. That's pretty lucky. Okay, I'm going to pull my Purple Globes back to Skrulk in case we need him. I'm wondering if Charge can get me in there. Doesn't look like it, so let's just regroup. Let's just regroup. Okay. We gotta regroup. These Purple Globes are dead. I can't do anything about it, so I'm just gonna attack Astrogoth. He's gonna reform ranks. Magma Cannon, -5 leadership. I don't know if it can be rallied. We'll see. We'll see. So we're gonna reform lines here a bit. Okay. We have switched spawn positions. Okay, my opponent's just running around. He is technically obeying the attacking rules, but he's making it take forever because he wants to kite out with the 2 ammunition he has left, which is fine. Okay. The die is cast. We are Rod of Corruption down the last 2 Bull Centaurs over here. My purple globes are gonna die. We have routed them off. We are getting them really low. Hopefully we can get to army losses if we can kill Astrogoth. I mostly just need to hold on for my second Rod of Corruption to come off cooldown here. So we're gonna be okay if I can do that. Assassin needs to fight Astrogoth, not Skrulk. Skrulk needs to fall back. We are routing off the Bull Centaur renders. We're gonna be okay. Alright. If I can last 83 seconds, I win this game. If I can't, I don't know. Okay, that guy routed on his own. Purple Globes coming back to deal with those guys. Skrulk's getting Lord Sniped a little bit. Astrogoth is fighting Skrulk, and I can't really get away from him. So I might just have to deal with it. Purple Globes are trying to kill off those Bull Centaur renders, because without him, Astrogoth will go out support and army losses will happen. We won. Jesus Christ. That was so hard! Stop! Fucking Astrogoth and 7 Bull Centaurs. Jesus Christ. But we won. I'll admit I'm salty. I'm salty. It's funny because someone messaged me right before the stream and said, you need to limit Bull Centaurs to 3. I know the fruit rules don't, but people are going to try and abuse them. And I was like, we'll see if it's a problem. And my first opponent fucking tries to cheese me with that shit. Alright, we won against what people were worried about. Whew. Right. Gotta find my next opponent. Cheese makes me sad. And that's why I'm sad. Alright, what are we doing? What's happening? I have to fight Khorne? Oh, fuck. I'll find Lysenia. Okay, tourney opponent. Lysenia! Slap me. Is this me or Land Battle's harder than Domination? I tried some Dom games yesterday, it seemed more forgiving. Maybe it was my opponent. I will say Dom requires a very different skill set. Because I played Dom. I am trash at Dom. Absolute trash. Because Dom requires... This is just my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. Dom requires a lot more... planning, I guess I would call it. And like, I guess it's the difference between strategy and tactics in like a global scale, where in the global, like in the real world, what I would say is that strategy is like, I'm going to move my army here, or I'm going to take a battle on this field, and those kind of things. You know, that's the difference between strategy and tactics in the real world, whereas, and tactics, sorry, isn't on the battlefield. You're like, I'm going to move my cavalry to the left or to the right. I'm going to have my archers fire early or wait until my opponent engages me. Like in the real world, those are tactics. I'd say land battles is more tactic based, and the domination is more strategy based, because in domination, what I find myself doing is I tunnel way too hard on a fight, and I win a fight, but I lose the battle. Like, right? You know, it's like, oh man, I fought for point one, and I did all these cool plays, and I won point one. It's like, cool, but points 2 and 3 were lost, and your spawn is entirely inundated with your opponent, so you can't do anything. Like, you can't spawn anybody without them getting fucked up. So it's like, it's that kind of thing. So Dom requires a very different skill set and a very different mindset, which is why you see some good players from LAN battles go over there and get their shit kicked in all day. And you see some good players from domination come over and not do maybe as well. I will say the transition from LAN to Dom is harder than Dom to LAN. Okay, I need to focus, you guys. I need to focus on Khorne. Khorne. Okay. I got some schemes. Hang on, everybody. Shush. Everybody shush for a second. I got schemes. Yeah. So from my personal experience, Dom is very different because I suck ass at Dom, so I like to tell myself there's a different skill set because it doesn't make sense why I'd be good at LAN battles and bad at Dom if it wasn't different. How about transition from sub to Dom? I'm sub for life. Sub for life. Easy. What do you think about the most annoying build to play against multiplayer right now? It's not recency bias. It's some behind the scenes stuff, and that's why I got so salty. Is full Centaur renders and Astrogoth builds are really annoying right now. So yeah, got a little salty about that one because I was like, really, bruh. But yeah, that shit's tough. At the moment, tough to fight. Okay, what do I need? Those do okay. Some of those. Some of these. 2 of these. And then I'm good to go. Alright, this is a new build. Let's see if it works. It was easier to teach your friends LAN versus Dom. Yeah. It's tough. It is tough. It's if you see someone who's good at both, like Houseplant is, I'll get mad at him all day, but I will never say Houseplant's a bad player. He's a very good player. To be good at both, like Platypus is, Houseplant is, trying to think. Flying Taco, I haven't seen him play LAN in a long time, but I theorize that he's probably still good. To be good at both is super impressive. Because I'm decently good at LAN, and I'm utter trash at Dom. So having both skill sets and keeping both skill sets honed, that's really impressive. So if you see someone that makes like finals in a Dom tournament and then finals or semifinals in a LAN battle tournament, that person's actually kind of insane. I can't keep house plants alive for my life. All right, we're on the wrong map. I'm messaging my opponent. We're on the wrong map. And I didn't want to play this map versus Khorne because my flanks are both forested. So I was just gonna get fucked up. Where it's like, oh shit, I can't shoot anybody on the approach, I'm gonna die. Anyway, yeah, my build, Eshin, cool. It's still a small map, so I didn't take any long-range stuff. But if he had 2 forests on each of my flanks to advance through, my rattling guns are literally worthless. Okay. What do we got? Sorry, I'm just talking to my opponent and stuff. Senior's a good lad. Filthy fucking cheater. Everyone who fights me is a filthy cheater. Macro versus micro is what you're getting at? Yeah, Romulan dog. Also, hi, Romulan dog. Alright, so we agreed to the same builds, just like the correct map. So he still has forests to advance through. It's not like, we have to play on a flat, open map, or I'm not gonna play. It's just like, oh fuck, I built my build for Eshin, not for that. What do we have here? Something a little experimental. A little bit, in theory, because this is the first time I've played this matchup post-patch. We have Plague Monks in the front line to chew through Marauders of Khorne, if they exist. Just get rid of any chaff. We have Plague Monk Censer Bearers to deal with Fleshhounds and Bloodletters and Valkia. I know we saw his build and those things aren't there. I'm explaining why I built this build without knowing what he had. Alright. Because I saw what he had and it was fucking wild. But, whatever. I do sometimes have issues with Valkia raffle stomping all over my formation. So I took Deathmaster Snitch for once to net her on the ground. And he can deal with her okay because she's like infantry size and stuff. And I do have Flensing Ruin to help deal with her assassin as well. Oh yeah, I wanted to integrate these into the front line. So I do have 2 Warp Fire Throwers. They'll deal with Bloodletters. And then the same reason I liked Bloodletters in Game 2, I like them in Game 3, is that if you don't route them off the map entirely, they do have a discouraged effect on their shots. So like, even if a couple come back in the late game and they fire, they're not going to do a lot of damage, but you're not looking for the damage in the late game. In the late game, you're looking for the leadership debuff to really just start that demonic instability crumbling and piss your opponent off a bunch. But that's the idea. Why do you keep getting assassins? I get assassins versus rush-heavy factions with -40 melee attack aura. I can really slow down the pace of the game. And then the Assassin's Trophy, I can stop my Lord from getting sniped. I only do that versus faction that rely heavily on high impact damage, like Khorne or... With the Chaos Dwarves, I was suspecting the Bull Centaur build. I was suspecting it, which is why my build was what it was. So I wanted to slow down the Bull Centaurs, just raffle stomping over my line, reduce their melee attack, and then give myself more time to deal damage back to them and shoot them. Same with Khorne. Khorne relies on kicking the shit out of you in the first like 20 seconds and then winning the entire game. So that's where we're at. Warp Fire Throwers are going to help me deal with this a bit. Rattling Guns are going to fire at Minos. It's tempting to deal with Scarbrand right away, but I know he's going to be cagey with Scarbrand, so I don't want to overextend myself for an unavailable target. And plus the Minos are actually just as deadly as Scarbrand is for me. So I do have to deal with them. You guys move up. I don't see any Fleshhounds, which is promising. Some more Fire Throwers got compromised. That's not surprising to us. It's not surprising at all. We are gonna dive in. Let's do the minus melee attack. Okay, I have to fall back. Snitch and the assassin are dealing their best with Scarbrand. I gotta pull back with this guy until I'm ready. I'm gonna do the spin in the middle of these Minos. This Deathmaster spin will actually do pretty okay here. But okay. I'm gonna net Scarbrand and his own troops, try and do the AoE damage to them and pull back. I still need a little bit more time for need more time for a proper good Flensing Ruin that could really fuck up that blob. Sensor bearers are murdering those guys, the guys. My brain is too fried right now. Too many things going on. Okay, Flensing Ruin, gonna deal with those. I know it didn't latch onto a specific target. I'm kind of okay with that for now because I want to hit the Gorgon too. And Scarbrand looks like he's rampaging, so we are just gonna mess him up right there. Chariot's on top of my Rattling Guns, which isn't good, but there's not a terrible amount I could do about it right now. Snitch is rampaging, but he's still fighting, which is all we need from him. Skaven Slaves, actually, yeah, you're useless to me. Just chase down those Marauders. Slingers are gonna get killed by the big boys of Khorne. Scarbrand is currently kicking Snitch's ass. And they did it last move outside the Flensing Ruin, but we got decent damage out on him while we were doing so. Okay, Snitch, stay in the fight. Scarbrand's low, so you're getting a damage modifier versus him, so just do your best, buddy. Just do your best. I'm gonna bring one of these Rat Ogres back to try and bail out my Rattling Guns. It's not looking likely, but we can try. If Snitch can finish sniping out Scarbrand with another Assassin's Trophy on him, we'll be okay. If not, this could get extremely scary. Yeah, Snitch is getting big hits. Nice. Very nice. Okay. We're doing good. Big hits, big hits. Nice job. My net is now useless, but without Scarbrand, their leadership is about to fail. We'll dive in, make sure we finish off the Bloodbrute Behemoth. Snitch is trying to snipe him out a little bit. Plague Monks did really well on the front line. Oh, we even got Rattlings back? Nice, 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 nice. Okay, I can't let Snitch die, because then we could get into the situation of everybody just cycle dying. I'm going to throw a Flensing Ruin attached to the Bloodbrute Behemoth to follow him no matter what happens, because he is the last target I need to kill. If I can get rid of him, everything's going to be fine. But it looks like overall we're going to do good. Snitch is safe. That's all I need. So Snitch is out of the fight. He's just going to stay safe. GG. No Chaos Dwarfs? I fought Chaos Dwarfs round 1. Who would win, a Khorne Demon or a Tiny Rat? Tiny Rat. And 1,000 of his friends. Sorry, someone's asked me about a thing. Didn't the Skaven win in the end times? I feel like when Archaon blew up the world, Skaven lost. Yeah. Also, to anybody who wonders if you should take Skaven Slave Slingers, yes! Yes! Tons of value on them. Warfire Throwers did great at just clearing out Marauders and being annoying. They're not going to get crazy high value, but they're a support unit. Like, they're not... You don't... That is the tricky part. You don't treat them like globes. You treat them like miners with blasting charges, right? They're in your front line. They're disruptive. They're annoying. But, like, if you put them behind your units, they're not going to fire. And if you rely on them to carry the game, it's going to go very poorly. But Deathmatch Snitch got great value. I was looking for Valkia. I did not get Valkia, so that was surprising. But the Rattling Guns had a ton to shoot at. I brought the Rattling Guns for Minotaurs, not for Scarbrand and the Gorgon, but we get what we get, don't we? Yeah. 800 value? Yeah, they were firing at Scarbrand all game, and Scarbrand doesn't have as much armor as you think he would. 90, but it's not a ton. He doesn't have any missile resist either. He has physical resist, to be fair, but still. Miners with blasting charges, child recruitment. Yeah, dude. Yeah, fucking get him. Yeah. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I gotta fight the Phoenix King? I don't want to do that! That guy's mean to me! Are the Aurora Sensor Bearers good in any scenario? Yeah. I just used them. They're pretty good. Yeah, I literally just used them. They are good for good stats. Phoenix King. Boop. Password 123. They're good for good stats. They have, I think it's called Rabble Rouse, but they have the AoE ITP, which is real good. Especially versus Khorne or other factions that want to rout you and then chase you down and get the kills off of your routing units. You need to delay your units routing for as long as possible, and AoE ITP will do that. Because ITP is commonly thought of as just, I don't want a terror route, but that's only half of it, right? Fear is like, I forget what the exact number is, but it's like -5 leadership around them for anything that doesn't also have fear or ITP, and Skaven don't have a lot of fear on their roster. Like, I mean, Clan Rats don't have fear, obviously. So if you want your front line to hold a little longer and not route, so Khorne can't just chase them down and get free kills while they flee for their lives, the ITP really helps. ITP also helps your lords, like Snitch, not terror route as quickly from the fight. Like if Scarbrand lands 2 big hits on Snitch, he gets down to half HP so quickly, his leadership, routes and he terror routes out. Gets separated from his support, gets torn apart by Fleshhounds or something, like, that would just be a game loss. So in instances where it's very important, you stick together. And that doesn't mean blob, but like, they are very good in blobs. But I also mean like, they can follow around important pieces such as Snitch or my Warlock Engineer, right? If I wanted Cleansing Ruin cast and Scarbrand was trying to snipe them out, they could walk up and do a lot of damage, so they're good. They're good into armored melee factions that want to rout you. Slaanesh, my beloved. Dude, Slaanesh is in the gutter right now. Some people are trying to tell me that they're okay. I think they're trash. Alright, somebody's writing to me about something that I have to deal with after the stream. They found a funny bug, and I do like funny bugs that go burr. Hippo bug. Okay, I gotta make a thing. I've been struggling versus High Elves recently. Let's see what we can do. High Elves in general is quite favored for Skaven, but the top level, High Elf players they've got some tricks. They've got some sneaky traps that make it really annoying to play against them, but not like, I don't know. I don't hate playing against them. I don't even dislike it, but it is tricky for Skaven. Because it's like, am I preparing for 3 birds trying to snipe me around? Or am I preparing for a cav rush? Or am I preparing to get kited? The Skaven can deal with all of them, but not all of them at the same time, so it could be a little tricky. But with the new patch, who knows? How much Warp Stone do you snort to have so much energy? A lot. Just a lot. I've never lost this matchup as Skaven. Lies, slander. Lies, slander. Jedi filth. Stingers won his match. Okay. Give me a second, you degens. Don't rush me! It's hard being a rat. It's difficult being a little ratty. I have an idea. It's probably trash. Ooh, I don't know about Plague Monks here, actually. Thinking about it. They'll just get shot. They'll get shot by archers. Go with that. Praise be. What up, Zero, dude? Chariots are still broken and don't work. Yeah. Spirit of the Gore got it. Which is weird. Who dares ping me now? How are Lizardmen on this patch? Good. I enjoyed them quite a lot. I did. Grace is breaking things in the background, which is not cool. Don't do that, Grace. I don't think we need those. I do think we need those. Okay. Oh, I don't know about this build right now. Sorry. I know I'm taking a long time, but sometimes when you're trash at video games, you just gotta take 45 hours to make your build. It's the law. Skaven rush build when? That could maybe work versus High Elves, honestly. Maybe. Rush definitely got better with the patch for Skaven. I just haven't had time to practice it, so I don't know. Alright, we're loading in. Do the cap changes apply to multi-entity monster like Frat Ogres? They did on the beta. Now, like I said at the very start of the stream, when there was 24 people here, now there's 60, so there's significantly more. Differences I felt in the beta was every unit tried to charge towards the center of a unit, applying much more charge damage because it charged through the first couple ranks of like infantry before landing where it landed. And now, post-beta, for some reason, everything is back to aiming at the very front. So if a chariot is charging this clan rat, it'll hit this first guy and be like, I'm good, and then sit on the front line and awkwardly try to attack. Whereas on the beta, it felt like it would get to about here and then start awkwardly sitting and attacking. But in that time, it charged through all of these clan rats, right? So it got a ton more charge value off. And you have all seen, like, the videos I posted, like, pre-patch, all that stuff, right? Of the Stonehorns that Stormrunner had that ran down the line of dwarves and, like, one-shot every single unit. So when you're charging, you do a lot more damage with model collisions. So having penetration into a unit really does a lot for your damage. And with that change, it's just like, well, if you aim for the first unit, you get almost no charge damage. And then units that rely heavily on a charge just get fucked up. I'm not sure about this build. Like I said, I've been struggling a lot in this matchup versus higher tier high elf players, such as the Phoenix King. So to deal with archers, I do have the avalanche mortars. I originally stopped taking them because I thought Fate of Buna would one-shot them. It turns out, I forget who told me this, so if it was you, congratulations, but I just forgot. Someone told me that Fate of Buna actually takes 2 casts to kill the avalanche mortars. I was like, really? And I tested it, and they were right. So, that's pretty huge. So they can deal with the archers, really harass, that sort of thing. We do have 2 gutter runners and 2 night runners as some 360 shooting. I know Bullmore, another pretty good Skaven player, really likes 360 shooting units to deal with phoenixes, so I am trying that because I've tried locking phoenixes in melee and it just does not work for me that well. And then I have a Grayseer army-wide support. I brought Howling Warp Gale to net phoenixes on the ground in case I do get them surrounded with rat ogres, and I brought Crack's Call to deal with lines of infantry where possible, but we'll see if it works. I'm not sure about this. We're learning on the fly. We are learning on the fly. Sorry, I have to group. Done. It was in fact Loopy who said that? I'd believe it. Loopy knows many a high elf thing. Illyrian Reavers, Illyrian Reavers, Illyrian Reavers, Illyrian Reavers. So 8 Illyrian Reavers, including 4 archer variants. We have 6 ground-based archers, 3 rangers, and 2 birds. So pretty solid build, Death Mage, Spirit Leech, and yeah. That is plenty strong. The Loopster is very good at high elves. It is known. It is known. Alright, start firing over there. You guys start counter-skirmishing a little bit. But we're not super worried about the Illyrian Reaver's damage. We're more worried about their melee potential. I'm going to advance with my front line, just because I want to keep the archers out of range of the purple mortars. And my infantry are going to be useless at peeling off the cav anyway, so I don't care about it. I need my rat ogres and skirmishers and dogs deal with the cav. It's just their role. I need those archers to stop again so I can cracks call them. I'm going to throw out this just to keep people honest. First volley is coming through. I'll throw down the Bound Scorch here on this unit that's locked up, but I do want to cracks call this Lothern Seaguard when they stop to fire. Okay. So we'll see how that does. Skirmishers are keeping those cavalry at bay, and that's all I really need them to do. I'm gonna throw down the Warpstone Scroll just to hurt this person, but Fate of Buna is about to hit my guys. And we'll see if the tech beast introduced to me by the High Elf pros is really as good as it says it is. Okay, the Cracks Call did like delete that Lothern Seaguard, so that's nice. That's not gonna do anything. There's no one to punish it right now, so just leave it alone. You guys go deal with the Rangers. Purple Globes keep firing. You fight the Rangers as well. We just need to distract them for a bit. Rat Ogres are getting involved. We'll throw a Howling Warp Gale over here just to disrupt that Phoenix a bit. Okay, you need to go into melee. Stop him. Stop him. Stop him! Don't fuck with my purple globes. Alright, we need one more solid volley out of you, then you can die. Then you have my permission to die. No, fire one more time! Fire! One more time! Yes! Cool. Okay. So we did good stuff. We have rat ogres. Fighting a whole bunch of Valyrian Reavers while some skirmish cav do skirmish cav things. Boys win mortar is still going. And they deleted some of those guys, which is nice. Would like to get a little bit of poke up there. Get that. Have these guys walk up. There's a lot of sleepy units somewhere. I don't know where they are. But let's just order them all back in. Oh, wait. Okay, bring the rat ogres back. Let the dogs do the chasing, because that is what they are exceptionally good at. Rangers have caught up to my avalanche mortars, fall back. Little avalanche mortars, fall back. Skaven slaves and clan rats and whatever the fuck. Just chase down some stuff. Oh god, skirmishers getting into melee combat, bad. I do need another bell to keep these guys in the fight, which they will do. Trying to fall back, trying to get shots off, shoot the Lothern Sea Guard, because they're at least half decent melee combat. We are killing this, which is fine. I have a Crack's Call, but where to use it? I see a place. Let's see how it does. Near. Okay. Got rid of some of them. Flamespire Phoenix is still fighting. Purple mortars are still firing. We're doing good. We're doing good. Wolf rats are back. Skirmishers are back. We're feeling solid. Purple mortars are about done, but man, we kept him alive for a long time, so we take those. Greyseer has to come back here. Does he have his passive? He does have the lore passive, so I'm just going to throw out this net to try and discourage those Valyrian Reavers. Maybe get them off my purple globes. Because the lore passive gives me minus leadership before the enemy army. Skaven slaves and clan rats are just chasing archers down in the backfield so they can't come back. We are up 2,000 damage value. And Bowmore, if you're out there, I used your stupid skirmishers. They won me the stupid game. I'll admit you were right, and I was wrong. And Loopy, if you are truly the one that told me that Fate of Yuna takes 2 shots to kill the avalanche mortars, then thanks, because they are crucial in this matchup, but I thought Fate of Yuna just made them trash. So Loopy, congratulations, you lost Phoenix King the game. I hope you're proud of yourself. We do have a massive lag spike, but I think this game is over. Alright. Phoenix King. Bye-bye Warhammer 3 just crashed for no reason. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. 2,100 on the Purple Globes, 1,300 on the Greyseer, who just provided a lot of support. Rat Ogres held up the Valyrian Reavers forever. The dogs were really good at chasing stuff down. The Skirmishers, again, thanks Bowmore. They did very well. Deathcaster did what she could. This was much more of a showcase of why the matchup is so hard for the High Elves. Now that I got my Purple Mortars back, that unlocked me a lot. Because without them, I got kited a ton by Mass Archer and Eagle builds. But with them, I can force my opponent to act and stuff. So the fact that Fate of Yuna doesn't one-shot them is huge for this matchup's viability for the Skaven. Was this the Phoenix King? Yeah. You need an elf to kill an elf. Alright. Phoenix King crashed. We made it to quarterfinals. And the bracket is way too huge to really go through like we normally do. I'm just talking to the Phoenix King right now. Making sure he agrees that I think I was pretty convincingly in the lead, but yeah. So I can change the score if we have to replay it or whatever. I'll see what he says. He is one of my mods and admins, so I don't think he'll be a dick about it. We'll see. And contesting it isn't being a dick about it, but if, you know, it's all about how you say the words. So the bracket's huge. A lot of stuff to keep track of. We are going to cast every single quarterfinal, semifinal, and finals. Now note, everything is best of one, so this will actually go pretty quickly. Like, this is 7 games, no matter how you slice it. RTK Platypus has made it to quarterfinals on Bretonnia. Dr. Jellyfish and Alfredine are fighting it out on Vampire Counts and Tomb Kings. ODMR's Persian Warrior is up here with Grand Cathay. Butcherbird and Stingers are fighting it out on High Elves and Bretonnia. Rocket Row is against myself, VP versus Skaven, and the bottom quarterfinal has not been decided at all with ODM's Razel, ODM's Tretch, Tank, and RTK's Big JP all fighting it out. Beastmen, Lizardmen, Beastmen, Tomb Kings. Yes, yes. Phoenix King's response was... Phoenix King's response was, if he had gotten a couple more Spirit Leeches off and kited appropriately, he could have turned that game around if his Phoenix got a rebirth, but he thinks that if it didn't get the rebirth, he would lose, or army losses might just fuck him over before that happens. So then he did concede. Yeah, he conceded, but he saw a possible world where he could have won. And I agree, if all those things went in his favor, he maybe could have won. Possibly. All right, so we showed you all the semifinals. Let's get this shit going. We are going to cast all the semis, so I'll just message Rocket and get it started. Hey, you ready? And then remember to wait for stream in quarterfinals. You can find your opponent, do builds, but wait for stream. Sure. Skaven versus Vampire Coast. I feel pretty confident in this one usually, and the Vampire Coast got nerfs, so I think this is probably Skaven favorite at this point, but watch as I just get murdered. What counters Skaven aside from Be'lakor? Be'lakor! Slaanesh used to. Post nerfs, no idea, but Slaanesh used to. Nurgle post buffs, honestly, might. I haven't tested it, but I would guess Nurgle post buffs might. Dark Elves still does. It's not unwinnable, but it is tough for the little Scavinos. They can do it. Don't get me wrong, they can do it. Ogres. Actually, I have fought a few players that made that shit feel tough. So Ogres can probably do it. I need more data on that one. I said Demons of Chaos. Warriors of Chaos is very good. Archaon, or Sigvald, or Be'lakor. Just like those 3 Lord options need very different ways to handle them. And they do very different things, so the Skaven are kind of playing a guessing game. Beastmen? Maybe? That's about all that I would say counters them. There are some even matchups, and there are a bunch of Skaven favored matchup. Skaven are strong right now, though. I will say that. Skaven feel really, really strong. I think they're going to be not top of the meta, but they'll be in that, like, they're either 3rd or 5th most strong conversation. Basically, you need to be unpredictable and have enough various threats that they can't hit all of them at once. Yeah. Best of 3 final, not for the qualifiers. We have two qualifiers today. Though I will say for the final bracket of 32, right? The actual like faction war, not the qualifiers. We are going to have a best of 3 finals. I did do land battle, domination, land battle last time because I like it. The crowd review was negative and the player review was negative. But in the same vein of I really advocate for a best of 3 finals to have 2 different game modes because otherwise if you get Skaven versus Dwarfs, just 3 shit games. We will be using the land cap point mod for game 2 of the finals. So the finals will be land battle, cap point mod, land battle. Just switch it up a little bit. The cap point mod is mostly land battles. It is mostly the same, but there is a little bit more emphasis on strong healing single entities to hold the point in the late game if it does get to that point, which it's just different. Who's top 5 now if Skaven's 3-5? Dark Elves. This is not in order. I'm just spitting them off. Dark Elves, High Elves, Cathay, Skaven, Ogres would be my 5. I do not think Chaos Dwarves are in the top 5 for land battles. I do not think that. What is this? I need to fight the Vampire Coast. Oh, God, why? Okay. Did that. Ooh, actually, my build got changed a lot because of some changes. Ooh, hoo, 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 saucy. Oh, this is gonna be a good time. This is gonna be a good time for me. Have you used Greasus since the update? Yeah, he feels a lot better. He still has fundamental like core design issues, but his models work correctly. His design issue is that he's a duelist with a low health pool, relatively a low health pool, no self healing, and he's expensive. So he needs to bring a healing caster, and you're focusing a lot of stuff on a anti-large duelist that's just meh. And he's slow, so he doesn't have a lot of agency. He's not terrible, he's just not good. Okay. I do need more of a front line. It's funny how much money I have left over. I have too much money. Too much money. More money than one man could possibly ever hope to spend. I spent it. On to the first quarterfinal. And I think we'll see in this game. But with the warp fire buffs, VP might actually just be fucked. Because Sirens were not OP in this matchup, but they were a decent threat. And warp fire throwers like literally one-shot them. You spelled qualifier wrong? No. I didn't do anything wrong. I probably did. Yeah, I think you're right. Oh well. At least I picked Skaven as my motif, because then when I fuck something up, I can just be like, let's Skaven. Anyway. My philosophy on this matchup with the Vampire Coast is the same as it's always been, but for your benefit, I will reiterate it, in case you've not been around the stream very often. Vampire Coast have nothing I fear in frontline melee. So my main strategy is just outshoot them in every form possible. Keep shooting until they are dead, and you'll be fine. Now, I don't fear their infantry too much. I do fear their mobility. So this matchup is largely decided on the mobility fight. If my Rat Ogres and the Wolf Rats can hold off Scurvy Dogs and Morngulls, I will be okay. If they penetrate my back line, I will lose. That's where the entire game is decided. The front line doesn't really matter. Warp Fire Throwers getting buffed is going to make this a little more interesting, allowing both sides to... Not both sides. They don't have Warp Fire Throwers. That was just brain off auto-talking right there. They will allow me to punch through their front line more quickly and harass their backline assets if they're going for a ranged heavy build. And if they're going for a melee heavy build, it will clear out a lot of zombies and give me easier time focusing on target priority rather than like gunnery mobs just walking up and pressuring me. Because I want to pay attention most to my flanks. I want to beat, you know, like I already said it, Morgels and dogs, I want to focus on that. And if I have zombies just walking up to my slingers and walking up to my Jezzails and stopping me from doing stuff, that's really, really bad. I did take some Jezzails. They're not ideal in this matchup, but you need them, in my opinion. Because if your opponent goes super heavy into cannons, Jezzails will do nicely there. Not. I mean, they counter cannons, but if it's 4 cannons versus 2 Jezzails, it's going to be a bad time. You need some sort of pressure like that. But I am going to be the one advancing in almost every case. The Jezzails aren't enough to force them to come to me. I picked Skrulk in case of Solastra. He has magic damage, which is really good. He also has Contaminate, which is pretty good against Undead. Minus 10 leadership to anything he attacks. He's good at clearing out summons. He has Pestilent Breath, which is all I really need from him. It's a good time. Animated Hulks took some nerfs, so I'm going to start firing at them. Warp Fire Throwers are going to advance and deal with those pistols. We'll see how quickly they truly deal with things. So where are the Scurvy Dogs? What's the situation on that? They are all within sight. And I feel like there's a bunch missing here, so there are Morgels. And there are the Morgels. Warp Fire Throwers trying to harass those pistols, but the Morgels are actually up front, which is not something I'm used to seeing. Okay, Skrulk's gonna go get involved. We'll throw out a summon and back off with the Warp Fire Throwers. Other Warp Fire Throwers in a little bit of trouble. Those are Fellbats. They're honestly not worth my Jezzail's time. Okay, I'm gonna have Rat Ogres go fight with all the big things, and I'm gonna keep Wolf Rats in the backfield to keep the Jezzails safe, because Wolf Rats are a lot better at that kind of DPS stuff. So we'll see how they do. Gonna pop all these. Just really dissuade the front line, but we are nuking down the front line, which is nice, allowing us to focus on the sides. But now we have Scurvy Dogs coming in for my Night Runners. Just turn and fight, you're not going anywhere. And now my dogs can counter charge those because I got free and clear. I'm gonna have a Jezzail poke down his Vampire Fleet Admiral, see if he's really paying attention to that in this chaotic fight, because if I can snipe them down, that would be huge. Wolf Rats are back, Rat Ogre's still fighting. Rat Ogre's still fighting out there. Those animated Hulks, they are. Unfortunately, I do have to deal with them, though I don't like it. Okay. Globe's trying to get away. Warp Fire Throwers pissing off these guys a little bit. I'm going to try and hit that guy. Things are not going great for me. They have compromised my backline, which we did announce several times, is whoever wins the front line, wins the back line, wins the game. I'm going to 2-for-1 here, and then I'll throw down a Clan Rat. That'll finish them off, and then I can keep walking. One of them's a summon, but whatever. I'll take out the real one, too. Warp Fire Thrower still harassing. Dogs still dealing with this. They are crumbling a bit. We have some rallying lads, which is nice. There's apparently a Warp Fire Thrower somewhere. There we go. That is back. These Rat Ogres need to ditch this fight. Wolf Rats go deal with this. You guys come back. You guys deal with this. Warp Fire Thrower is clearing out the front line. Skrulk is in a fight with the Vampire Fleet Admiral. Vampires is currently kicking his ass. Meanwhile, dogs are there. Go, Skrulk, go. We are getting some rallying units up on the high ground. Let's go get it active. Let's go get active. Skrulk's winning that fight. Good for him. Warp Fire Throwers continue to harass. Good for them. Jezzails, shoot at those Morgels because your flank is completely compromised and I can't save you, so you're just doomed. Warp Fire Throwers are still pushing off those pistols. Animated Hulks and Dogs are about to die, so I don't care about them as much. Gonna throw out a Stand Your Ground. I do need to just fight these Morgels, unfortunately. I will throw down a little summon on myself for a bit more deeps. Don't know where the fuck you're going. Oh, you're in melee mode. That would explain that. That's a pretty big mistake for me. Whoops. Whoops. Game's turning against me a little bit. Gonna throw this down to just deal with these Morgels. Try and push them out of here. But I do think we are in significant trouble. We will see as I continue to try and push those Morngulls around. Rat Ogres, just try and peel off the last of these guys. Both these Rat Ogres gonna hit that guy. You guys are fighting it out. We are killing those animated Hulks. Damn it, I was hoping there were Morgulls. Alright, those Morgulls are doomed, so Skrull can walk away. Fire Thrower still trying to clear out that front line as Morgulls come for him. Wolf Rats get countercharged by Scurvy Dogs, it's fine. You're a Vampire's Fleet Admiral, so you are healing up, which I don't like. I'm gonna use this Libra One-Shot-A-Kiss on these Morgulls instead of the Vampire Caster, because he's just gonna heal himself up too much. I kind of want to get them to fade away. But, like I said, things are turning pretty significantly against us. Okay, Skrull's gonna try and take a fight with that guy. Slingers are back, offering their support. Clan Vulcan Tail Slash is still chasing around Scurvy Dogs, but that's not really gonna matter too much. Mostly I just want those Scurvy Dogs to stay out of this fight for a bit, because I kind of want Skrull to 1v1 some kids. I almost have a standard ground for those Rat Ogres. Oh, they didn't get the buff. Lame. Okay, Skrull's still trying to chase around the Vampire Daddy. We have more slings back. Morgul's taking some damage. I do think the coasts are going to grind me out. Yeah, they have a full health ROR over there. Which I don't know if I can beat. We'll see. It's not over just yet, but it is close. It's close to being Ogre. Okay, Morgulls are mega dead. So let's just walk past them at this point. Yep, those guys are gone. Slings, protect yourself from dogs. Skrull, try and find that Fleet Admiral, though he's just gonna walk away. Okay. Those guys are crumbling. I'll hope that they'll crumble away soon. Is all we can really hope for here. Skaven slaves are gone. Let's see if the tail slashers and these Skaven slaves can actually get to the pistol mobs without breaking. There's another Morgul. So there's a 2/3 health Morgul and a full health Morgul. A full health pole arms caster. All versus Skrull. I have a summon and I have a Rod of Corruption. We'll see. Dude, crumbling. There we go. Dogs might crumble of their own volition. Yeah, they're crumbling a bit. That's a summon. It's not real. Skrull is quite a good lord. He's a good boy. I think a lot of the Skaven lords have a place. Yes, yes, yes. I just want to see how much my Rod of Corruption damage will do. I acknowledge this is probably pretty over, but right now the coast is losing a summon. They're losing their dogs. Fucking lol. Anyway. I just want that guy to get down low enough that he starts crumbling. Holy shit, that summon has 30 more seconds on it. Good lord. So that guy's crumbling. That guy has 14 seconds left to live. We are getting Morgulls. Let's see if he overcommits and uses the Night Terrors at the same time. Because that would be a mistake. For my Rod of Corruption to hit all of them at the same time. Okay, that guy's low enough. He's going to start crumbling. There's a heal cap on those guys. The Night Terrors are joining in, so we will get a nasty Rod of Corruption on all of them, which is going to be pretty good. Ah! Die! 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 Which one's magic do I have left? I only have these casts left. So might as well throw it up down the line. Boop! But Skrulk's doing a lot of damage to the Morghuls. You can see the reason I didn't want to give up just yet is because I burst that Morghul down really low. And Skrulk's still doing okay. I still had a summon. And Morghuls are pretty bad at finishing off infantry. So I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's just like, I could see a world where Skrulk does more damage than I expected and actually wins this thing. So he's extremely disadvantaged, but all the summons are gone. I must have another Pestilent Breath. There's another summon, but it's going to have a hard time shooting me in all the Morghuls. Ah, damn it. I got terror routed. GG, though. GG, well played to Rocket. Skrulk, 1,800 value. Jezzails got shut down. There was no cannons for them and shit. They just got hard rushed. Rat Ogres did okay. They just had to block. Warp Fire Throwers honestly did less damage to the Undead than I thought. So that was a bit of a disappointment. Wolf Rats did fine. Clan Volcatil Slashers and Slingers did fine. So I think if you're redoing this... Sorry, I'll cover his build quick. Morghuls did really well. They're not going to get their value back. They're just a monstrous stalking Vanguard disruption piece. Dogs did well. I peeled them for the most part, but I struggled a bit. So what I would do, probably, is keep one Warp Fire Thrower for the Sirens, just in case Sirens exist, and replace them with 2 Wolf Rats for some more mobility presence. If you're worried about having too little of a front line... I brought the Death Globes in case of Depth Guard. Because Depth Guard are actually pretty hard to take out without any form of globes whatsoever. So I would still keep the 1 purple globe just in case. How to get more frontline? How to get more frontline? Because I need unit slots is the problem. I don't need money, I need unit slots. I really liked the 4 Slingers. They're always good backup. What you could do is you could go full rush. So just abandon the Jezzails, maybe. This is entirely theory crafting. But that's... Ah, fuck. That is a lot of money. And I don't need money, I need unit slots. Damn it! I still think abandoning the Jezzails might be appropriate, but the problem is I don't want to spend the money on melee units because of bombers. Bombers can still exist and just fuck up your whole day. I wonder if you rank 9 the dogs. I don't know. It's a matchup we're still figuring out. For now, I lost and we have other shit to cover, right? GG, well played. GG well played to Rocket. He did advance. So what do we have? Let's check on that bracket, huh? I did get defeated. We have a Beastmen mirror as Beastmen overcame the Two Kings and the Lizardmen. All right. Persian Warrior and Butcherbird Bretonnia versus Grand Cathay. And Platypus still awaits the winner of Alfredino versus Dr. Jellyfish. Cool. We're going to watch the Beastmen mirror because Persian Warrior had to go do something quick. So I will hit up Big JP and Alfredino. Oh, I'm sorry, Razel. I mean, Razel, Alfredino, same person. Same person, man. Beastmen mirror. They got pretty far in today's tournament. Pretty far. 2 of them getting to the quarterfinals. That is nice to see. All the funny bear people were murdered? Yeah, it looks like. Ugh. Nasty VP build versus Skaven. Yeah, he did great. So who will be the Beastmen? The winner of this match will be the Beastmen representative for the faction war, so it's pretty big stakes. It's pretty big stakes. Do you like the bear anime? No. I don't like any anime. I'm not a fucking weeb! That's not true. I do like anime quite a bit. All right, these guys are doing their builds. The map is set. There's no picking bands. There's nothing to wait for. I'm gonna go grab a drink.
Bye-bye. I lost my game.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
But my love.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
How you doing?
Good. I think I'll go my drink.
We're going over here. You gotta leave mom alone. So you're joining the stream for a bit. Cause you're being disruptive. Cause you're being disruptive. You have disrupted the grace. And she is mad at you. And she's mad at you. Why would you do that? Why would you make her mad at you? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? She doesn't like being mad at you. She doesn't like being mad at you. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like it. Who's your good lady, huh? Is you? Is you? We love this pup. We love this pup. Wow. Alright, there you go. Whoppa. Whoppa. Oh, I bet you want lunch, don't you? It's getting close to that time, but it's not that time yet. Alright, what are we doing here? Get the thing, RO sensor bearers. The only worry I have about RO sensor bearers is bombers. I worry bombers would take them out in like one shot. So who will be the best man? Spirit of the Gorg? I don't like you. Razel's ready. Big JP running out of gold. He'll be ready soon. First time you see my hair. Yeah, I usually throw a hat on if I haven't showered or something. My hair's just a mess. Kept sending you a bunch of Animal Fight Club channels, and I recommended how to block them all. This is not an Animal Fight Club channel. We love Hazel Basil. While JP figures out his build, y'all want to see some shit? I had some art done. What do you think of this? It's a thumbnail setup. You know how I have some of them, like Queek versus Artorias and other things like that? So I commissioned my artist friend. So he made this little Skaven playing computer in like a green warpstone light. And then the right side is intentionally black so I can put text and images and shit there. But I like it a lot. It's good shit. Look at him. Look at him there. Just a filthy gamer rat. What do I say too often, Spirit of the Gorg? Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, sorry. There was a desync in the game, so I'm going to sit here for a second, make sure I can see both armies easier for if I have to rewind the stream and find them. So, sorry about that. I sent the lobby. 1, 2, 3. I need to set the map. Valley of Thieves. Perfect. Sorry about the desync, folks. JP is ready. And I have pulled up the game so I make sure both the builds are the same. Big JP's build. Doombull, Bray Shaman, Korok's Manrippers, Minos, 2 Centaurs, Ungors. Perfect. His build is the exact same. Razel's build. Torox, Caster, ROR Centaurs throwing X's, 3 more Centaurs throwing X's, 4 Centaurs, 4 Ungors. Perfect. Both builds are good to go. The Razel has 100 gold left. He's trying to figure out where he needs to put that. These are the units he needed. And there's no blocker because we know what these armies are, so there's nothing to hide. Phoenix King? I don't know that. I wonder a Dark Elf settlement battle? Sorry, not settlement. A Dark Elf... Dark Elf walled city. All right, we're back in. Sorry about the desync, lads. All right, we're back. We're back. I tried Nagrand already, but their armies were too small. Okay. We saw both the builds already. It is a very heavily Centaur-focused army with some throwing axes, Torox, Brass Bowl, Bray Shaman, and Wild Traderkins for the side of Razel, so mass mobility. On the side of JP, it is meat, axes, and muscle. A bunch of Ungors to do some zoning. A couple Centaurs just not entirely surrender the mobile game. Butchers of Kalkengard, plus 3 other Minotaurs with great weapons. The Korok's Manrippers, ROR, Bestigor Herds. They did get their fresh shiny buffs with 44, 42 melee stats. They're probably still trash, but maybe not. We have the Doombull with Dazed. And we have a Bratian Wild also with Traderkin. Where'd you place the Dowies are? Hopefully better than normal dwarves. I would not place them... Well, I don't know, actually. I'll have to really analyze the meta and get more reps in on games, because a lot did change. Even if the Chariot, Cav, and Single Entity Monster charging changes didn't come through, there were still a lot of changes to the game. Currently, I would put Chaos Dwarves tied with Dwarves. Gun to my head, I would put Dwarves above Chaos Dwarves, because of the Chariot and Charge changes not going through. If the Chariot and Charge changes had gone through, that's a buff to Chaos Dwarves and a nerf to Dwarves, so I would again give it to Chaos Dwarves. Right now, like I said, gun to my head, I think Dwarves are probably in a slightly better spot, but I do think they're both a solid B tier. Doombull has invisible weapons, does he? No, he just uses his knuckles, actually. Because he has a trait that's called Barb Knuckle Boxer that you can take. So yes, the Doombull does not have weapons. He just uses his fists, which makes him a fucking badass. So the frontline fight is very obviously going to go to Big JP. He will demolish it. I do worry that he's going to lose the mobility fight with only Centaurs, and he doesn't have counter-ranged or artillery to stop the Centaurs throwing axes. So I think if Razel is really on top of it, there's going to be a lot of kiting where the Centaurs are just going to kite him around. Because he just doesn't have... He doesn't have agency pieces, right? And by agency pieces, while we watch some of the kiting, it is like a land battle principle where to dictate how the fight is going to happen, you need one of two things. You need a speed advantage, or you need a range advantage. So that means, like, you can either, if your opponent has more range than you, but you're faster, you can just walk up to them and beat their ass into the dirt. And if your opponent, if you don't have a speed advantage, if you have a range advantage, like a cannon or a Cygor or something, right? Or you have archers and they don't, like 360 skirmish cav, you can shoot them and force them to try and come to you. Now the problem is when an army has both. So Razel gets to dictate everything. Razel gets to pick the engagements. Razel gets to pick what's going on. Because Big JP's 2 Centaurs can't outfight Razel's 8. And he has no archers or cannons or Cygors or anything like that to counterfire. So Razel can poke. If Big JP comes out of the box and he doesn't like the engagement, he is just going to shoot him and run away. If he does like the engagement, he can use his mobile elements to dive in and try and like cut the head off of the snake that tried to leave the box. So this is going to be a tough time for the blue Beastmen. Anyway, Unger Spearmen are getting involved now. Centaurs with throwing axes are chucking away. Now, this game isn't over by any means because of exactly what you're seeing here. The Centaurs are already at half ammo from the throwing axe variant, and the other throwing axes are full ammo or whatever, but it's not like they have enough ammunition to kill the entire build outright. So if Big JP holds on, he can eventually get into the melee fight, and he is far superior in the melee engagements. Both sides throwing down a Traitorkin. Torok's gonna pop Brass Body, so he'll be fine, but this caster taking overcast damage and then getting hit with the Traitorkin is gonna draw him awful low. And the Minotaurs are actually getting some counter firing in here, so this is where Big JP's build is gonna shine. Any good proper fighting, good proper scrapping is gonna go in his favor as the Korok's Man Rippers try and chase out. These Minotaurs got a little over-eager, did end up outside the formation. They are now charged by the Butchers of Calgon Guards, some Centaurs, and the Doom Bull is in here, but Torox is also fighting the Doom Bull. And when his Brass Body wears off, he's actually going to be significantly worse than the Doom Bull in melee combat, I think, because of that Dazed that he constantly has. Just taking -10 melee defense whenever he gets hit by the Doom Bull is pretty brutal. Centaurs are committing into the fight. The blue team does have Korok's Man Rippers in here somewhere, I thought. Oh, they are leaving very far outside the formation. We'll see how that goes for them, but more Minos are committing to the fight. This so far is not going that well for Razel. This little soiree here. Another Traitorkin onto the blue team. Doom Bull is getting whittled down. Minotaur is also taking a lot. But if that Traitorkin is off cooldown, it means the other Traitorkin is also off cooldown. I expect to see a blue Traitorkin coming in very soon. The Traitorkin plus the sniping. Doom Bull's getting real low, and Torox does stand triumphant as the better of the bull-type lords. Hazel's upset. She can't go bother her mom right now because she is sweeping and mopping and you are making a mess. Centaurs with throwing axes, the ones that have been previously held in reserve, are here now. The other Centaurs with throwing axes still have a decent amount of ammo. Bounce power is turning pretty heavily against the blue team. They do get out a quick Traitorkin onto some Centaurs and onto Torox. And without his Brass Body, he will actually take significantly more damage from this one. And a big snipe attempt here from Big JP. His blue Centaurs, using their limited capacity as well as they can, they do surround and start beating down the Brave Shaman of Wild, try to get a magic damage advantage in this matchup at least. If these Centaurs can dive back over here, sacrifice themselves to save the Doom Bull, but they rout immediately, you bastards! How dare you leave him! So Torox is probably just going to chase the Doom Bull to the end. But Razel's forces that he has left behind are taking a bit of a pounding. His caster is routing, his Centaurs are routing, throwing axes are having to get thrown in as melee units now. Where are those Korok's Man Rippers? Where have they been led to? They're still so far away! Oh no! That is definitely a tragedy. Such an elite unit, such an elite halberd unit could be in here, could be fighting, and that is probably going to cost him the game. That unit is just so far away. The Doom Bull did manage to rally. Torox is coming back. This is a little ray of hope for the blue side. Minos still fighting. The Wildscaster's about to get dove by Torox. Realizing Torox doesn't have his own caster support anymore. Ooh, he does on the distance. Okay, so with caster support, Razel will probably be just fine. But anyway, Torox is not about to get Traderkind again. He's just going to hunt that poor guy down. And Korok's Man Rippers go shit, 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 and start waddling their way back to the fight. We'll see if they even get here in time. As far as Razel's builds go, all of his melee Centaurs are very, very, very injured. His throwing axes are about out of ammo over here, but he has 2 with tons of ammo left. Torox has a health advantage over the other guy. For Big JP, his side's looking pretty rough. He has infantry with health left, and he has the Korok's Man Rippers. I don't know if that's going to be enough to carry this game. It's a huge Traderkin. Hits 2 very injured Minotaurs and the Doom Bull. It's going to finish all of them off. And without their Lord, I do think the blue team is going to leadership spike down to death. Torox manages to rout and kill. Nope, shatter. Rout and shatter the blue Shaman before that Traderkin lands. And he will win. GG, well played, lads. Doom Bull was a cool tech piece. I liked it a lot. Wildscaster obviously was fine. Korok's Man Rippers was a cool tech piece. They just got pushed out of where they were going to be. And yeah, I understand the Mino Rush. Minotaurs are very strong, but you do sacrifice any range capacity. I think what could maybe make this build work would be a couple Ungor Raiders, just like 2. Maybe cut 3 of these infantry and get Ungor Raiders, or 2 and just downgrade the shield variants. I don't know. But anyway, a couple Ungor Raiders to counterfire against Senators throwing axes. Maybe. For Razel's build, realized he had mobility advantage, used it very well, cycle charged a lot, and if blue if JP ever overextended, he really just dove in and made it like a 5v1 fight, so that was well played. GG's to both. Almost 100 viewers. People are going places. I'm trying, man. If you are viewing this right now, we do have a second tournament later. Another qualifier for the faction war at the NA nighttime. And if you aren't subscribed, do that. And if you like land battles, where are you at? Where are you at? We're here. You can come play some games if you want. Okay, hopping in to watch Butcherbird versus Persian Warrior. And I'm just going to tell Dr. Jellyfish and Platty get your builds ready. I am casting Bird v Warrior. Okay. Cool, cool. We'll hop in here and check out the bracket. All the quarterfinals are filled out. The vampire counts did prevail over Alfredino's Tomb Kings. Game in progress. Weird. It seemed like they started without me for a second. Anyway, Brett, vampire counts, and then we have Grand Cathay versus Bretonnia. And the bottom semifinal will be Vampire Coast versus Beastmen, Razel versus Rocket. Hopefully the stream should go pretty quickly. I don't think we will be having a lot more waiting around because everybody should know their opponent ahead of time and there won't be very long build phases. We're going to keep this moving. Bretonnia went through. Let's go. Yeah, you're going to get 2 Bretonian games at least. Looks like their buffs are doing pretty good. Grand Cathay versus Bretonnia. This sounds god-awful for Bretonnia. We'll see how it goes in practice. Miao Ying, recently double nerfed, with foot characters being a lot easier to hit. Miao Ying is less tanky than she used to be, and she costs a bit more money, I think. No, she costs less money. She actually got a buff in that regard. Okay. Still easier to hit, but I think either a power increase or power neutral. Yeah, she should have gotten a cost increase. That cheating bitch! What else are we dealing with? Looks like we got a box forming. Classic Cathay. Peasant long spears, jade halberds mixed throughout. No jade warriors, just the halberds, who also got buffs. So actually a lot of buffed units here. Triple iron hail gunner, 1 fire rain rocket, and 2 long marauders. 59 player check-ins is a ton. It is FNG, and the stream's only been going for 2 hours. And we are already close to the end because best of 1 and pre-picked factions does go very, very quickly. Hey, Leia! How you doing? All right, on the other side for Bretonnia and GS, who has been in chat, that is Butcher Bird, or SOK Crow Father, he keeps changing his name. But we have 2 Royal Hippogriff Knights, Gotrek and Felix, and the Fey Enchantress, all on foot. Fey Enchantress has her Mortis Engine type ability, but she also has Dwellers Below for maximum crowd clearing of the Cathay box. We have Battle Pilgrims, who were recently buffed, 4 of them, including the Holy Wardens, 5 Peasant Archers, and a front line of Peasant Mobs just to throw themselves upon the Grand Cathay lines. Now, before you get too mad at Gotrek, Felix, and the Fey, I will just say, you're facing a Cathay box, everything is a halberd, everything is a spear, and I understand where they're coming from. Talons of Night got higher wins magic cost. True, it did. You're getting shouting at me. I don't like being shouted at. Makes me sad. And a little bit of lag spike as the fire and rockets are raining fire down upon the Holy Wardens. But these boys got moves. These boys got jukes. They didn't take nothing. Look at it all. Look at it all. 1 hit. The favor of the Fae smiles highly upon them as they dodge most of the shots, only losing 1 Battle Pilgrim model to the first volley of the fire and rocket. And their middle fingers are raised. Middle fingers out, lads. Middle fingers out. Second volley. Another whiff. Second volley part 2. Ow, that did a lot more damage. Owie, owie. Should have picked Dowie. Hey, now the archers are on fire. Good job, Holy Wardens. I am very curious how the Royal Hippogriff Knights would do against Long Marauders. Long Marauders have, better stats. Better armor, better leadership, better speed, 1 less melee attack, 7 more melee defense. Less weapon strength, though, to be fair. Higher charge bonus, too. Oh, that is the Righteous Lances. Hold on. I'm being unfair. That's the Righteous Lances. Yeah, Hippogriffs are better against the normal ones. Okay, cool. Fire and Rocket is very punishing. If these archers could get in range, they can shut it down very, very quickly. So we'll see. They teach dodging lessons at the monastery. Yeah. Bop, 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 bop. Nice angle of attack. Hits like 3 units at the same time a little bit. It's doing good damage. 600 damage value for free while the Bretonians advance. That is the advantage of artillery, because once the lines really connect, artillery is usually quickly shut down by either small arms fire or just infantry pressure or spells. Artillery needs to get all of its damage out right away. Better leadership, better armor, Papa John's. That is an entirely dead Battle Pilgrim unit. Oh lordy. Dwellers Below is cast onto this boxed up Iron Hail Gunner. We'll see if they notice it and dodge, because Dwellers Below I don't believe has a vortex of any kind, so you can't just walk out of it even while it is casting. But the Cathay player did not notice it coming in. It is going to hit dead center. Now the Iron Hail Gunners are just going to walk out, but they'll take a good chunk of damage for their time. Front lines have collided. Peasants versus peasants. Actually, these are peasants versus Jade Warriors, which is going to go even worse for them, but peasants versus peasants in other places, though the long spears are certainly a better caliber of peasant. 2 archers and a Battle Pilgrim are going to rout off from the Fire and Rocket. Meanwhile, Hippogriff Knights get a counter charge on the Righteous Lances, who are trying to rout off some peasants, and the other Long Riders get a counter charge. on those guys as well. Storm of Shadows upgraded onto the Royal Hippogriff Knights. Earthblood is trying to heal them back up. It looks like Iron Hill Gunners are just completely murdering these guys. Oof, that is a huge loss for Bretonnia. And Butcherbird withdraws, calling it there. God damn. One of these guys fucked up a Royal Hippogriff Knight. Looks like it was these two. Yeah. Damn. Pretty early surrender, so not a lot of value to get. Let's go find Jellyfish and Platy. Lobby. Peasants versus the Space Marines of Peasants. Yeah. That was a quick surrender. It was probably pretty early, but I think losing 2,000 gold worth of Flying Cav in the blink of an eye, that's now a 10,000 gold build versus a 12,000 gold build. But yeah, it was probably a pretty early surrender. Peasants versus the Space Marines of Peasants. All right, we're here with Brett versus Vampire Counts. I really need to pee. Both these players' builds are ready. They just have to hit the ready buttons now that they realize I am here. And I'm going to go real fast. BRB! I'm back. Did they start? No. They're ready now. I was tilted as fuck by the lag and my orders weren't working. Just waste time to play. I see. All right, Platy's ready. We'll see if Jellyfish is here. Maybe he stepped out of the room. 100 watching today. For anybody who cares, these are qualifiers for the actual faction war, the bracket of 32. We will have a prize pool for that. Let me pull it up. So, I don't always love doing cash prizes. Some people are donating. I know Black Knight is thinking about offering some cash. I know Strat Game already did. Cuden's offering some stuff. But the artist that did this for me, that rat, he is, well, I'm paying him. But if you win on, let's say, Bretonnia, you can pick your favorite lord or unit or just anybody to hold a banner in front of them. And on that banner, we will put your name. And then we'll use that art on the channel every so often, but it's also your art to do with what you wish. So if you win, you get a nice, cool piece of art drawn with your favorite legendary lord from the faction you won on, holding it, saying, I won this, I did great. Kind of a unique prize. Also, top 4 will get a copy of my board game. Instead of just doing raw cash for everything. We do sometimes do cash prizes, especially now with the cheat mod being gone. But it felt weird for the faction war. Right after a patch release, giving out a new faction and bringing in a bunch of changes, it felt weird to do a cash prize when people are still figuring out the meta, figuring out what's good, figuring out what to even play. And it's like, also figure it out real fast, because $10,000, bitch. So, just seems weird. All right. I am going to... look at some things. There we go. Now we're good to go. I took the blocker down, right? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Menacing Platypus, RTK player, does play a little bit of land battles, plays mostly domination mode. He is a streamer. He streams a ton of domination content. He hosts a lot of new player events and single faction tournaments and all those things. This is his channel. Do go check him out. He's a good friend, a good guy, very chill bro. Okay, yeah, that's all the nice things I have to say about him. Platypus is also playing Bretonnia right now. 4 Battle Pilgrims, 5 Peasant Mods, 2 Grail Reliques. We have the Fey Enchantress, Henry Le Massif, and a Paladin, all to protect her. She has Dwellers Below and Earthblood. We do have 2 Peasant Bowmen with Fire Arrows, 1 with Poison Arrows, 2 Grail Guardians, and a Knights of the Realm. All right. For the Vampire counts, post several nerfs. We will see what they can do. Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spearmen in a plenty. A front line of 4 zombies. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, probably the best duelist type lord there is. His stats are meh, but it's mostly reliant on his debuff, the Helm of Discord, plus getting a charge bonus, plus popping all of his abilities before you charge in. You can get 1,000 weapon strength. It's very, very good. 2 Blood Knights to contest the Cav game. We do have the Claw of Nagash Mortis engine. Now, these did get a change. Their Reliquary Binding imbues magic attacks now to bypass the physical resist of several of the Knights types. I think the Grail Guardians have physical resist. Yeah, they do. So that'll be good if you can get a Cav fight or a Skeleton Spearman poking at them with that magic attack. But it did come at the cost of reduced healing by half. We have a Necromancer with Master of the Dead that now got its healing reduced by half, and it has to charge up by your own units dying near you. So a lot of passive healing nerfs for the Vampire counts. We'll see if they can do it. I thought you usually want to max out on zombies. I mean, he has 4 out of 5. It's still pretty good. They forgot to change the map. The players are asking me if it's fine. I'm fine with it if both players are fine with it. Earlier, Lucinia and I had a different map than we were supposed to, and I was a little bitch, and I said, hey, change it to the right map, because I felt like the map gave my opponent a significant advantage. But it's not that you have to play on the map if you don't want to. It's fine. As long as you and your opponent agree, I don't care. Oh, that is a stretch. The winner of this will go on to the semifinals to fight Grand Cathay. On the other side of the semifinals, we have Vampire Coast versus Beastmen. Hopefully in a lobby right now, figuring out their builds so we could just hop in, kick some ass. And we go forward. Actually, I do think with the Battle Pilgrims and the Fey Enchantress's Mortis engine, I think the frontline fight is going to go to Bretonnia, which is a little weird. The ranged pressure obviously goes to Bretonnia because the counts don't have any, and I think with 2 Grail Guardians and a Knight of the Realm, the mobile fight also goes to Bretonnia. So where does that leave us? This guy. The 3,000 gold Blood Dragon Lord is going to have to make an impact on this game. It is won or lost by how well he has played. His breath attacks have to be on point, his charges have to be on point, his magic uses has to be really good. Because he's the only advantage the Vampire counts have in this with the build setup. Like, I mean, he's a significant amount of gold, so you would hope that spending that much gold on him does render other parts of your army a little weaker, but I see the Battle Pilgrims just grinding through all of these skeletons pretty easily. And with mobile pressure, the Grail Guardians can defend those Peasant Bowmen. The Peasant Bowmen can keep the Claw of Nagash at bay, or if the Claw of Nagash just commits to the fight for too long, they can shoot it down. So it'll be about how much the Blood Dragon Lord can do. We'll see, we'll see. Grail Guardians getting some free charges onto the zombies, trying to get away from the Blood Knights who are countercharging behind them. Now, thankfully, we'll have Peasant Bowmen trying to harass, trying to make sure that things go okay. And bam! That zombie, half HP from the Knights of the Realm charge. Really good harassment from Bretonnia so far. Where's the second Blood Knight? I lost track of them. Oh, there they are. Ah! Ah! What happened to my camera? No! Anyway, the Blood Knight's flag was a little hidden, but they do get a countercharge in, and a big Dwellers Below is going to hit all of these units. The Blood Knights have to fuck off, which is the purpose of the spell here. They just didn't want them to stay and fight. They will destroy a zombie, but that, you know, that's not what Platypus was hoping for. He just wanted to make sure that his Knights of the Realm could pull away. The Grail Knights on the other side did get away just fine. Grail Knights on the far side also did well. Knights of the Realm suffering from the Blood Knight countercharge, but it's not all free damage as the Blood Knights themselves are at half HP, and the Claw of Nagash committing in here is going to get attacked by 2 anti-large heroes, and it is getting shot by a lot of bowmen. We can see what I was talking about earlier, but the Claw of Nagash kind of has to play this a little cheeky, has to be very careful about where he goes into a fight, and he is not being careful. He is getting wrecked at the moment. The Claw of Nagash has to pull away. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord probably has to give it an Invocation to Heck or something to heal it up. He even overcast an Invocation to Heck to try and catch the Blood Knights as well, and he does. The Claw of Nagash is getting away for now. Meanwhile, other Blood Knights are trying to chase these Grail Guardians through the backline, and the Grail Guardians will take that fight now that they're inundated with Battle Pilgrims and have a Grail Relief support. I guess that is just a leadership buff, but still. Big breath attack from the Blood Dragon Lord. This is exactly what we wanted to see out of him. Good job getting those Grail Guardians down to half HP, and so far, both players playing well. Bretonnia is at a damage advantage and at a tactical advantage, with that Claw of Nagash taking so much damage, and even got the Scroll of Shielding 20% damage to this cast on just so it stops crumbling so much. Fey Enchantress is mortising down some Blood Knights. In the front line of zombies and skeletons are trying to push through the peasants, but peasants supported by ITP and plus 12 leadership from the Grail Relic, they're not breaking anytime soon. Those zombies are having a hard time really getting through. Blood Knights on the backfield do rout one of the 3 peasants, and the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord dives in, takes Henry down to half HP, 1k damage value on him. You can see those big bursts I was talking about. This boy has to carry the whole game, and oh man, he's trying. Henry is straight up gonna die, but the Blood Dragon Lord is taking a ton of damage in response. Archers are pouring in damage. Grail Guardians are fighting back against him, and their stats are just so high, I guess they can land attacks even while debuffed. He is taking so much damage! The Blood Dragon Lord! Oh, good God! He's going down. He's going down, ladies and gentlemen. He's trying to back out now. Necromancer and the Claw of Nagash are sitting in the back, cackling away, trying to heal up as more Skeleton Warriors pile in to the fights. Damage value. Dr. Jellyfish had a huge play there with Blood Dragon Lord, got things back a little bit, but still 3,000 gold down, gold damage value down. On the far side, Knights of the Realm pushed off. I don't know if they're going to come back at that low of HP. We'll see. 2 archers are officially shut down, but the Blood Knight had to sacrifice himself to get rid of them. Another Blood Knight is just about dead as well, really lowering the anti-large potential for Vampire Council. I forgot their name for a second. We still have a full health Grail Guardian. The other Grail Guardian is rather wounded, but with 39 models with some Earthblood spam from the Fey Enchantress, they could be fine overall. Or Chalice of Potions is trying to kill the zombies. Zombies and Skeleton Warriors are the last advantage the Vampire Counts have, and man, you can see the Grail Relic's value. How long it's taking these 100 gold peasant mobs to break. Now, it is in the face of zombies and skeletons, to be fair, but still, it's rather significant holding on, if I do say so myself. Blood Knights try to get an Invocation Heck, try to hang out next to the Claw of Nagash to get some healing for themselves, but it's just not going to matter. I think Bretonnia is going to take this one. Their Knight play was good. Their punishment of the Blood Dragon Lord whenever he landed was nice. And the Claw of Nagash just did not get a good time. As soon as he committed, Henry and the Paladin came over and gave him what for. Big dive in, wants to take out this Grail Relic, wants to make these Battle Pilgrims non-ITP. They only get ITP from Frenzy on their own, so if they got rid of the Grail Relic, then the ITP would be gone. But here's a big charge in for the Grail Guardians, with Archer support nearby, and the Fey Enchantress could even give favor of the Fey if she wanted to. I think that is going to be the GG moment. Blood Dragon Lord's even trying to opt out, but a big Dwellers Below is going to land, clear out the zombies, clear out the skeletons, even do some damage to the Blood Knights. As another Overcast Invocation Heck tries to bail out this situation, the Mortis Engine's too low, the Blood Knights are too low, the Blood Dragon Lord's healing cap is within sight. On the other side, Bretonnia just has too much left. They have more chaff, they have more cav, they have archers, and their single entities are healthier. And if you want to see the nerfs in action, Master of the Dead is now fully charged, but he had to lose so many units to get it fully charged. The Vampire Counts really don't have that many passive auras left. Henry is finished off by the Blood Dragon Lord, who then turns his ire upon the Paladin, is just bodying this fool right now. Paladin taking a ton of damage, but I don't think it's going to matter as the Grail Guardians are coming back in for another charge. The Paladin is worked on. The Paladin is going to die. Bam! That boy is dead! He's going to shatter! He is gone! And the Blood Dragon Lord says, fuck your single entities, I'm gonna kill him. And now he is trying to get out of here. Another zombie summon will come down to keep him safe from the Grail Guardians, but it's just not gonna be enough. They are even getting healed up. The Blood Dragon, he will path out, but I don't know if the Grail Guardians will let him actually get into this guy, and they can just harass him, just get constant rear charges. And that leaves just the Blood Dragon Lord and the Necromancer. It's not enough. Is GG. Because the only way the Blood Dragon Lord could deal with this is if he got a nice breath attack off. But if he can't get in this guy, he can't cast a breath attack. And also, I doubt at this point in the game, Platypus is going to have his Grail Guardians do anything except for trace this guy around. Like, he's not going to pile him up on the Necromancer for a nice breath attack to kill them. So there's no reason for them to do anything. Because the Fae and the Archers could just pressure the Necromancer if the Blood Dragon Lord even gets into this guy. Grail Guardians trying to path out of these zombies. The Blood Dragon Lord thinks about taking a fight with them down in this ditch without any support for the Bretonnians. But again, I just don't think it's going to be enough. And he's even trying to get out. He can maybe get back into the sky here. But he has to make up for 3,300 damage value worth of difference. He only has one breath attack left. There are Archers, there are Grail Guardians, and there are army losses. GG. Bretonnia will make their way to the semifinals. GG. Alrighty. Y'all got a semi-final for me? I'm trying to find our lobby. Fae Enchantress, 1,700 value. Enry and the Paladin, just a little bit of Pokey Pokes. Grail Knights, 2,600 to 1,300. On the other side, the Grail Guardians, my bad. Battle Pilgrims held forever. Killed a ton of zombies and skeletons like they had to. Archers fucked up the Mortis engine of the Blood Dragon Lord. Good God! 1,600 value, 1,800 value, 1,100 value. And then the Grail Relics and the Peasants fought to the very end against the Tides of Undead. That was very cool. Blood Dragon Lord was played with well. Blood Knights honestly also did well. The Claw of Nagash, it just didn't have a home here, unfortunately. It was zoned out too hard by the Archers, and when it was forgotten for a second, it got chunked out real bad. Necromancer was fine. I think the Skeleton Spearmen were okay. For Dr. Jellyfish, he's a better counts player than I am, so whatever. But I guess the only thing I could offer was get probably 2 dog units by cutting some skeletons, maybe. Because with the Grail Relics and Battle Pilgrims, we've just seen that the Vampire Count's infantry is going to take too long to get through even basic peasant mobs, which is brutal. So, but I mean, it is a new patch. It's not like, wow, Dr. Jellyfish, why didn't you just know that? It's like, I mean, you're playing a faction that got nerfs versus a faction that got buffs. There's going to be a learning curve. GG, well played. And he will still be our Vampire Counts representative because he got the furthest. Okay. I was sent a code for our first semifinal. I will take a look at the bracket in just a second for anybody curious where we are at, but we are entering the semifinals. There are 3 games left in the stream. Beastmen versus Vampire Coast, Bretonnia versus Cathay, and then whoever wins from those 2. All right, we're in. This is Platypus on Brett, Persian Warrior, Grand Cathay, Rocket, and Razel. Rocket on VP, Razel on Beastmen. 3 ODMs, 1 RTK in the final 4. Can Platty defeat the tides of filthy ODM scumlords? Or will the brave Knights of ODM prevail this day? Are you winning, Rat Boy? I did pretty good. I got to quarterfinals. Lost to Rocket. Oh, it was a good game. Love her praising CA for fixing single entity cherries with this patch, yet somehow managed to F it up and not have the change go through. I think the single entity change went through. I have had no issues hitting Footlords. What wins? Magical carriage of damn souls or pointy sticks fired by filthy peasants? Eating meat also makes the coming out product less healthy, I'd say. Grieven, what are you talking about? Splat goes the dragon. 3 full health units, yeah. Would have been, but you weren't home in time. Well, we do have another one for anybody who wants to participate. There's another tournament exactly like this in the NA nighttime. I don't remember what exact time it is, but it's posted in my Discord. Let's see. Challenge. So for this one, the next one is at 7 p.m. So for me, it's currently 12:30, so it's in 6.5 hours from this moment. For this tournament, there are 24 factions in the game, so I'm going to go through the bracket, and whoever got furthest as each faction will represent that faction. Now, to make a nice bracket of 32 for the faction board itself, because if you have a bracket of 24, a third of players get a bye round, which is stupid. Nobody wants that. Like, that's bad content, right? Right. So to make an even bracket of 32, we need 8 more slots. What should the 8 slots be? The tournament tonight for NA. Whoever gets to the quarterfinals, those 8 players will be invited to the faction war to pick a faction of their choice. But I won't allow them to all 8 pick the same faction, so it'll be like, okay, who got first place? What faction do you want to play? Second place, what faction do you want to play? You know, so that kind of thing. But we will get it diversified out, get a nice 32 bracket for the big one. Stormrunner, no excuses. Beastmen versus Vampire Coast while they set up their armies. We'll talk about the matchup in general. Warhammer 2 is where we saw a lot of it. Vampire Coast was pretty weak back then, but against the Beastmen they did have some strategies that could win them some games. Specifically crab spam. But with their buffs in Warhammer 3 and Beastmen's slight nerfs of Taurox, but otherwise buffs to Minotaurs, we'll see whose buffs were bigger buffs. Though coming into this patch, Coast did take a bit of a slapping. Builds are mostly set up, so let's get this started, huh? Ungor Herd Gore Herds, including Black Horde's Ravagers. Very interesting from Razel. I think Gore Herds are trash, but Razel is most definitely a better Beastman player than me, so I'll trust him on that. 4 Ungor Raiders is nice. Some Harpies just for a bit of flying pressure in case of bats. You really don't want to get in a situation where there are 4 handgun bats or some bomber bats and you have no air pressure or range pressure at all. So the archers and the harpies are hoping to stop that. Triple binos, 2 with great weapons, 1 with the regen, Butcher's the Calgan Guard, Taurox the Brass Bull himself, and a Brave Shaman Wild with Traitor Kin. On the other side, for the Vampire Coast, we do have 4 zombie mobs in the front with swords, 4 pistol mobs in the back, 2 halberd mobs on the flanks. We do have triple crab mob plus an animated Hulk, Count Noctilus on foot with heal and summon. Then we have 2 dogs for chasing down archers in the late game, and 2 more pole arms in the back. So 4 pole arms, 4 swords, 4 pistols. 4, 4, 4. The Beastman front line is going to have a terrible time versus the crabs and the zombies. Rocket immediately summons one of his zombies onto a raider to stop them from firing in, so the Vampire Coast is going to be getting in there, going to be knocking them down. We'll see if the raiders can really get a ton of damage out, but here comes the Beastman countercharge, and these crabs had better watch out. There's a lot of armor piercing. The boys have been buffed since you saw them last, Mr. Krabs. And already the Beastman front line is going pretty well. It looks like we have an overcasted Traitorkin right away off the bat, but the overcast damage does a quarter of the Brave Shaman's health as well. Lamprey's Revenge and Count Noctilus taking a ton of damage as Taurox gets in there, gets dirty, gets involved. Harpies, seeing no other flying units, are now used as dogs to just sweep out the back line, get rid of the summons, while the Ungor Raiders retreat for a bit. Pistols are trying to shoot at the Minotaurs, though their own crabs appear to be blocking their line of sights. That is not great. Lamprey's Revenge already need an invocation and a heck overcast to keep them in this game at all. Butcher's Calgan Guard are uninjured, so is Taurox. And wow, the Minos are putting on a clinic about how to win a frontline fight, even against the undead. These other Minotaurs aren't doing so well without the support and without being an ROR with regen. So the crabs are winning in certain areas. They're even pushing back Ungor herds, but Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Dogs somehow ended up in combat with spears and harpies. That is a bad time for them. The dogs do need to be slipping through the front line much more, getting onto the backfield and harassing these archers. That is a bit of a misplay from the Coast player. Now in the central blob, Blameless Revenge are left alone. Looks like they're even getting orders to just walk away and regen up a little bit. The central blob fight went to the Beastmen. The Beastmen are not going to let these guys run away and heal. They are just going to run them down, and Noctilus might have to turn and fight and do something about it. Pistols will even have to offer their support. The last of the dogs, both of them rather injured, are going for the backfield, but there are harpies waiting to just swoop down on them, waiting to finish them off, and the crumbling is really hurting them at the moment. Beastmen up in the damage value, Beastmen up in the bounce power. I tend to agree as another Traderkin is coming. It is overcast. It is not overcast. So it is just going to get some nice poke down. I think that'll be the end of the Lamprey's Revenge. And Noctilus himself is also running away. Pistols really hurting these Beastmen, though. And the bounce power shifts closer and closer to army losses as Rocket tries to fight back. But you can just see the sea of red unit banners on the far side there and the dwindling amount of blues. There's really just not a lot of muscle left for the Vampire Coast as the Beastmen rush was doing quite well. Ungor Raiders are protected. 2 of them are about half HP, 2 of them full HP, so you can see that they have been doing good. All of the dogs are dead. Animated Hulk's doing their best to chase them down, but we're just running out of mobile elements to really pressure those archers. Torox get Wraith Stormed as the last of the Lamprey's Revenge is going to fade away. Noctilus is running around, but there's just not enough left. There's not enough left, my dudes. This is Appearing Ogre. The Coast just couldn't stand their ground against the Mino Rush. And in the backfield here, a zombie summon is trying to support, but these Rotting Prometheans and Animated Hulks are now surrounded by very angry Minotaurs. Just getting their asses handed to them. Noctilus getting chased down by Torox the Brass Bull. I'll admit I missed him. I missed him a little bit. Welcome back, Torox. Just a little bit, not a ton. Let's not go crazy here. Torox is trying to chase down Noctilus. Dives over him. And dives over him yet again. Torox, you weird, weird man. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Nocti is going to heal himself back up. Third time is the charm. The charge actually hits Noctilus. 4th time, misses. I don't think that charge animation is the best one for hitting Noctilus yet. Now he's just swinging at him. That is definitely your best animation, Torox. Please keep swinging. Yeah, he hits him twice in a row, and he swings normally and doesn't try to dive attack him. And the Beastmen roll over the undead front line. Minos were nerfed. Khorne's Minotaurs were, not the Beastmen. Noctilus, he's more of a bump and grind kind of guy, and then in a game that quickly, he's not going to get his value back. The crabs did okay. It's just the rest of the build rolled over really hard under the Beastmen assault. For the Beastmen, Torox did fine. Minos did fine. Trader King Caster did excellently. Ungor Raiders did okay. Everything did its job. They just pressured and pushed up. It's a GG. That is a GG. Platypus asked if he had time to get food, and I said an average game length is about 15 minutes, so you should, and that was 10 minutes ago. We'll see if he is around. Could Depth Guard mixed with Zombie stop the Minotaur Rush? Actually, probably. Depth Guard polearms are kind of nuts. Kind of nuts with it. Who's our semifinal again? It's Persian, right? Persian Warrior. I don't see his lobby, so we'll see. Mofet versus Tretch. Interesting. Alright. The lobby, just titled Persia, is back, so that's usually where a Persian warrior ends up. Let's see if Platypus's Bretonnia can break through the Cathay halberd and spear box that is most likely coming. Or will Cathay go to fight Beastmen? Could... Oh, you... the golden toilet, you're just excited to use just a good idea? Hell yeah, you did, dude. Mofat Void still rears his ugly mug in Warhammer 3. I don't know. People could just be memeing on the fact that he got banned. Sometimes they just find it funny. I mean, Void was a really good player, and he's not banned from every community, just ours. So, he could still be around. He was a decent dude. He just cheated one too many times, and people got really sick of his shit. But like, without cheating, great player. Not pretending he needed to cheat to win. And that's like, that is ultimately the sad part of the Void Law story, is he didn't need to cheat to win. Like, he could have just won normally. But, yeah. For everybody who doesn't know, the short version is there was a guy who had various accounts, but he would join tournaments multiple times, so if he did happen to lose, he had a backup. And it was just unfortunate, but he was like one of the best players for sure. For sure, hands down. He loved to roll bikes and play online, yeah. Well, yeah. When you say toxic cheater, he is a cheater for sure. I had plenty of nice interactions with Void. Void. He just tried really, really hard and broke some rules and stuff. Adelmo, what's up? Did Void ever end up having to play against himself? Yeah. Yeah, he did, and he would just have the original owner of the account play against him, and it was a noticeable dip in quality of the second account. So, yeah. You also had bad interactions with Mofat, who was Void. True FNG. I just don't want to be unfair. It's not like Void had no redeeming qualities. He was a shitter. It's like, he could be alright. He just didn't trust in only his skills. He needed a second and a third chance. Sorry, one sec. He also popped up super late to tourneys and then demanded to play, yeah. Alright. The map was forgotten to be changed. Platypus did not care, so they're just gonna play on this one. Alright, you've seen this build before. It's literally the exact same. 2 long riders, one of which is the ROR. We have a bunch of Jade Warrior Halberds and Peasant Spears. Triple Iron Hail Gunner, Meow Ying on foot with Talons of Night, Storm of Shadows, and Regrowth. We do have 1 Fire Rain Rocket. 1 second. Range is 400. Okay. I'll message Persian about just being a little further from the white line to not run into any issues. Anyway. Did you watch CA Dom tournament? I poked in and out. I am not a Dom viewer. I do not find it particularly interesting. So I did not watch a ton of it. I checked in on viewership numbers because I'm very attuned to and concerned for the health of viewership community, because as a streamer, I care about viewership. Like that's a pretty obvious self-bias, but no, I didn't really watch like the games. I saw the meta is still a little bit, at least in the games I saw, the meta is still a bit of line up in your corner, the enemy lines up in his corner, they both corner camp for a bit, they build up a big force and then they rush all at once, but the first 5 minutes of the game are kind of dead. So that's what I saw, but I'm sure there was other stuff. The skill of playing got nerfed. Yeah, Caradoc, I didn't watch it. I really just like those who ruin the integrity games like that. Match fixtures and throwers piss me off. Yeah. Alright, and then for Platypus's build, we have Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, Peasant Bowmen, 2 Peasant Bowmen on the far flanks to try and stay out of range of those Iron Hail gun, out of the Fire Rain rockets until Platy can get in there. More Knights Errant and more Knights of the Realm. So as someone in chat was saying, I forget who, way cheaper Knights this time, really trying to just inundate the enemy lines. We have Peasant Mobs, Battle Pilgrims, Fey Enchantress probably on foot, again to avoid the Halberds. This is a pretty nice tech piece, I would agree. And we do have a Paladin and Enri Le Massif, both on horseback still, so they will be a little more susceptible to the Halberd spam. I forget how to type, my god. Yeah. And there are people who like Dom games, like, I don't know. I'm allowed not to enjoy watching them, but also be like, okay, they can exist. There are people that like them. Turin clearly likes them. He gets pretty solid viewership for them, so it's like, it's out there. But it's not my cup of tea. Big fire and rocket volley, half health off those Battle Pilgrims. The Fae does throw out, oh, this is really neat. I liked that a lot. So she threw out the Chalice of Potions to get good damage on the Jade Warriors, and then he tried to charge in as they broke formation, so they wouldn't get their charge defense versus him, and they could maybe slip into the lines. And now that they're fighting the Knights Errant, the counter charge is also not braced, so he's really trying to get some charge damage out. I like the plays a lot from Platy. It was ambitious, but I could really see what he's going for there, and that was cool. Iron Hail Gunners now getting attacked by Knights Errant, just trying to stop them from firing. We saw in the first time of Cathay versus Bretonnia how bad the Iron Hail Gunners messed up the Hippogriff Knights. Platypus does not want to experience that again, though he is getting wrecked by Halberds at this moment. Dwellers below tries to catch Jade Warriors. Again, he gets them to move, and as soon as they move, they lose that charge defense brace, and they can take a good amount of damage on the charge. Righteous Lance of Voyagin, pwn some Knights of the Realm, they get countercharged by Knights Errant, get back up in the sky, losing a little bit of health. Now the Fae and her hero squad is joining into the fight. The Peasant Bowmen are being moved up now where they can get into position and start shooting. Now the firing rockets are potentially distracted, potentially disrupted. It looks like they're not quite disrupted just yet. They don't have attack orders, unfortunately, onto the Peasants either. Knights Errant in the back getting wrecked by these Iron Hail Gunners who just have guard mode on, and even though they're getting swamped by the Knights Errant, Knights of the Realm, this one, they are still firing into the backfield, pushing off those Knights Errant, and the Jade Warrior Halberds are just wrecking the Bretonnian cav. Why don't they use AP Footsquires? Cathay moves, Cathay dives. Dies? Yeah. Fire and rocket. There are cav and infantry all over it. It will be shut down soon. The Peasant Bowmen are still rather healthy, so that was nice of keeping them back. I really like a lot of what Platypus is doing to mitigate the damage. We're going to see if it matters enough, but he's been doing his absolute best to buy himself time to advance. Iron Hail Gunners, 2 of them are going to be routing. 1 of them is still here, though very injured. And the Fire and Rocket is also routing soon. Fey Enchantress pushing off some Halberds. But with every Cathay game, there's always a bit of Skaven in it. There's a bit of Skaven in it. You get very far ahead at first. Do you get ahead enough? Because when the bump and grind comes in, most factions are actually going to beat you in melee combat. You can see that happening now. Platypus is catching right up on damage value. His archers are going to be uncontested unless the Longbow Riders go out there and deal with them, which actually could be a good move. There's not a lot of cav left to really punish them for doing that. There's not a lot of cav left to punish the box if they leave. So the Long Marauders are going to go shut down the Bowman. That'll be a good play for them. Miao Ying is trying to chase down the Fey Enchantress, but there is a Paladin and Henry Le Massif to try and poker. 2v2 Dom is fun to watch? Hell yeah, it is. Lots of routing Cathay. Platypus even takes a slight lead on the balance of power, I would say. Miao Ying is currently fighting the Paladin and Henry and actually beating them up rather well. Doing a lot of damage there. Fey Enchantress, though, doing damage of her own. Nuking down that Jade Warrior Halberd and draining the Peasant Long Spearman next to him. Meanwhile, a Talons of Night is going to kill the Peasant Bowman and the Knights Errant that were nearby. And they're pushing away, but the Bretonnian Infantry is slapping some peasants. Now that the Battle Pilgrims are here, Battle Pilgrims are significantly better combatants than poor little Peasant Long Spears. Iron Hail Gunners rallying in the distance, but they have so few models and honestly so little leadership, they just rout again. Another Iron Hail is back, but it's being chased by Peasant mobs. The Knights are hunting Miao Ying. The two heroes are not going to let her rest, not let her go, even though she has appeared to beat them in melee combat. Bretonnia really scrapping back in this game, relying on infantry rather than cav, which is interesting. Not on purpose. Platypus took 6 knights. They all just fucking died to halberds. And Miao Ying is going to transform back into her foot form. Now remember, her foot form is a lot less safe than it was on previous patches. We'll have to see how much that really helps her, but she needs the healing. She needed the Earth Bloods, and she is going to try and withstand Henry and the Paladin. And the Fey Enchantress might want to come over and start mortising down these Long Marauders. Also give her leadership aura to Henry. 2v2 Dom and 2v2 Land are good. I would say, unpopular opinion, but I actually like 2v2 Dom better than 2v2 Land. It's funny. 1v1 I prefer land battles, 2v2 I prefer Dom. I think the strategies in Dom are really interesting, and the faction combos are more interesting. Land 2v2, as you're saying, it can get a bit like who can be more degenerate, whereas Dom, it's generally more action-packed and exciting for 2v2. Miao Ying chasing down the Fey Enchantress, but the Paladin and Henry are here to back her up, here to help out. They are going to get a nice charge on Miao Ying. Now, she probably has her Dragon Transformation soon. She is just going to throw a regrowth down on herself. Archers have rallied in the distance. They are firing back in. And how are we doing on Longmas overall? Where are the Righteous Lances? Looks like... Oh, wow, they're in the distance, half HP, so there's actually plenty left for them. Iron Hails are lining up. Will the peasants charging them be enough to deter these boys? Get rid of these lads? Looks like it actually might be, so the Iron Hails are going to be all gone. Can Miao Ying solo carry? It's starting to look like the answer might be yes. Most of her support is gone, but she just has a lot of healing. Fey Enchantress getting dove on by the Righteous Lance Waging in. This actually is probably a mistake because it just makes it easier for the Fey to Mortis Engine you down. She tried to cast Dwellers Below. It got canceled. I wonder if it would be more worth it to just not cast that and cast Earthbloods instead, because you have two heroes who really need healing. And this Dwellers Below is going to be dodged by the Righteous Lances pretty easily if they choose to. If they sit in it, obviously it is going to do really, really good damage. But the Fey is already dealing a lot of AoE damage. I think it's much more important to keep your guys alive because the Fey is already dealing with all that stuff nicely. Bretonnian Infantry is overall winning. The Dwellers Below chunks down the Jade Halberds. But now Henry is maybe about to die to Miao Ying. And the Longmas, the real target you wanted with the Dwellers Below, are able to just fuck off. They're fine. Growly continuing to fight. Miao Ying also continuing to fight. The Fey is going to join in the battle. Miao Ying is now a lot V1. We saw an Earthblood try to get attempted, but the Fey Enchantress got knocked down. When she's off her mount, she can get knocked down a lot easier. And that does stop any of her spell casts. Longma's joining the fight, but anybody who joins the fight will be drained. Beware of drain. Iron Hail Gunners are holding on long enough to fire into the blob, getting a bit of that leadership debuff because you're under missile fire in before the peasant mobs can get to them and really take them out. Righteous Lance Evasion trying to clear out other things as Battle Pilgrims slap a bunch of peasant mobs. Damage value and balance power slightly favor Cathay. We'll see how much it matters. As the Longmas are routed off, yep, as soon as they land, that Mortis Engine effect is really going to tear them down. Can Miao Ying solo out the triple hero squad? That is going to be a big thing. Henry got 85 melee attack from the favor of the Fey right now, doing his best to get his shots in there. We have a full health Battle Pilgrim that does need to join the fight. We have some Peasant Bowmen on the far side. Bounce power swings slightly back towards Platypus. Miao Ying has received a lot of healing. I wonder where her healing cap is as the Righteous Lances come to join in. They are getting a regrowth right now, but they are diving into a Mortis Engine type ability, so they're going to have to be swift and surgical and then get out of here. Otherwise, they will just take a lot of damage. These Battle Pilgrims from Platypus need to get a little more active, need to start fighting something, whether it's these peasant mobs over near the Grail League or whether they join the blob fight against Miao Ying, I'm not sure, but they do need to do something. They are a significant force in this battlefield. And the peasant archers also have to be rallied. Henry is routed off. But the Paladin and Fae are still continuing to fight Miao Ying. Battle Pilgrims, not Paladins. Battle Pilgrims are trying to join the fight against Miao Ying. Peasant archers firing the last of their shots into the Longma Riders. They do dodge that last little mini volley there, and that time they will shatter, so they'll be gone, but they did what they could while they could. Miao Ying about half HP. Her 55 melee defense versus the 45 melee attack of the Paladin and the 38 melee attack of the Fae Enchantress is proving rather difficult to deal with, though. Our Longmas try to dive the Battle Pilgrims, and I do think Cathay is going to probably clutch this out. Probably. I think Faye wants to be on foot because Henry and the Paladin both have bonus versus large. Because you can see their stats without a bonus versus large is pretty middling. 45 melee attack and 40 melee defense versus Miao Ying's 65, 55. She is much better statted as long as she's not large. Battle Pilgrim's trying to join the fight. Fae Enchantress just trying to get away from Miao Ying for a bit as the Paladin does abandon her. He is going to shut down the Iron Hail Gunners quickly. But he does need to come back. He just needs to offer his Guardian buff to keep... actually, magic damage is going to bypass that. Yeah, I don't know. But he does need to help her fight a little bit. Battle Pilgrims rout off the last of the peasants. Miao Ying is going to transform into the dragon at last. She can't cast any of her healing spells while she is in that state. The Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are busy chasing off Henry Le Massif, who has 9 HP. Did I say that right? 9 HP. All right, I don't think that boy's coming back, you guys. In fact, I just kill him outright. It's looking like the end of Bretonnia. Bad place to be a Footlord doing that name pick justice. Miao Ying is back in. She's trying to get a good shot onto the Fae Enchantress. The Paladin will attempt to defend her, but 5,800 HP is a lot for him to work through with his 390 weapon strength and very little armor piercing versus 100 armor. I think Miao Ying is going to solo carry at this point. We'll see how much the Battle Pilgrims can do. They have rejoined the fight. Longma Riders are diving in. They will be out of here quite soon with that low of HP, that low of leadership. They're just going to get murdered. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin also diving in. Again, they will be affected by the Mortis Engine. We'll see if Platypus has any Dwellers Below left. But again, they'll opt out of that. He might just want to spam Earthbloods if he even has them, just because the Dwellers is so easy to avoid for most units in general, because it's not a Vortex type spell. It's just like a flat damage sits there. But even then, it's even easier to avoid for flying units that can just opt out of the fight. One Longma is gone. Halberd is about to go. But Faye took a big shot from Miao Ying. And another one. Fae Enchantress down to 82 HP. And without her Mortis effect. I mean, she has it as long as she's alive, but she won't be alive for much longer. She is, in fact, dead. Without her Mortis type effect, this game is over. It was a valiant attempt for Bretonnia. But this matchup might just be too bad as you fight some of the best and cheapest halberd and peasants in the game. Oof baboof. Miao Ying 3,200 value. Longma Riders 1,100 and 2,000 apiece. Fire and Rockets 800. The Jade Halberds mixed but overall good value. Iron Hail Gunners got shut down rather effectively, and the Peasant Long Spears paid for themselves with gusto. Platypus 2,600 on the Fae Enchantress. 1,000 and then 200 on the Knights of the Realm. Henry and the Paladin did okay. Both paid for themselves, I believe. Knights Errant did okay. Battle Pilgrims did really, really good work. But as Cyrus is saying in chat, it is just a really hard fight. It's a really hard fight to do. RTK's Menacing Platypus. If you do want to see more of this man, I posted it earlier. I can post it again, which I will do. He does stream. Streams mostly domination games. Single faction tournaments, new player leagues, those kinds of things for Dom. But if you want to hear him, he's here. He's a good lad. Very chill vibe. Good dude. Needs to upgrade his PC so he can play on a higher resolution. I think it like streams at 720 instead of 1080, I think. And he did get furthest as Bretonnia, so he will be in the faction war as the Bretonian rep. You'll see him again. 70-30 or 80-20 matchup? To me, it looks 80-20, but that was the first time I saw it post-patch, so it's early to make a definitive judgment, but it looks super hard. It looks super hard. GG Will played to Platty. Delete Cathay. All right. Finals will be Razel's Beastmen versus Persian Warrior Cathay. This is the last battle of the day. Can the Beastmen stop the might of Grand Cathay? Or are we all doomed? Okay, I don't have a blocker up before I join the lobby, just in case the Beastman build is already ready to go, because he might have seen that Grand Cathay was winning on the stream. Don't want to show his build. Ah, crap, I joined as a pleb. I don't see the lobby. There it is. Now I can join it without joining as a player. They need to stop buffing Cathay's ability to box. This is a very unfun playstyle. I wish they would buff their Cav and nerf their infantry and nerf Harmony. Or change Harmony so it doesn't give more leadership in melee defense. Because that just incentivizes boxing and blobbing harder. Razel is already ready to go. What up, Papa Palpatine? How you doing? So Beastmen are ready. Like I said, he did have some time to think about this, while Cathay did not. So they are just lining up now to get in there. Dun, 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 dun. We are ready. We're getting into the finals. Beastmen, Grand Cathay. This is not the faction war, but the faction war qualifier. But still, it would be a point of pride to win it going into the faction war. You'll have to stay up to 2 a.m. for the second qualifier. We'll hopefully get it going good for you, Pop Palpatine. This has been a 3-hour qualifier, and we got through 1, 2... Sorry. In 3 hours, I got through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. With 50-plus-ish players. That's a pretty good turnaround rate. It's a double balloon box? Goddamn right. You goddamn right. I mean, Cathay and boxing go hand in hand. It's not shocking. It's a degenerate playstyle, but the entire faction incentivizes you to fucking do it, and it sucks ass. It's terrible. I have complained about it ad nauseum, but the people that listen to me do not care about such things. Okay. CA pinged a bunch of content creators, so I was reading that. But it was nothing that is particularly exciting or interesting. There's a desync in the game, exiting. Perfect. Curious about buff Bestigors versus Cathay? Could be good. Alright, host game as spectator. Failed to host a game. That's exciting. Where the hell? Tourney opponent. Alright, what's the last map again? What are we doing? What's going on? Who's around me right now? Southern Chaos Waste. Perfect. Sorry, we had a desync issue. Last time that happened, I hosted as a spectator and it was fine, so. +6 melee, +6 range equals harmony. Based on the harmonic ratio of range of it. So, yeah, FNG and AC Maiden, that is a way better system. Because right now there's like literally no way to proc harmony on cavalry. So you're disincentivized from having cavalry leave the box of any kind or even having cavalry whatsoever. And then the range of harmony does make you want to blob up. Yeah, it's pretty awful. Razel is ready. That build looks the same to me. Would you rather face boxing Vampire Coast or boxing Cathay? Coast. Coast for sure. Coast is way easier to deal with. For sure. All right, we're in. Finals attempt 2. Sorry about the desync issues. There have been some issues with people joining each other's lobbies occasionally, and some desync issues, so clearly the patch is having a bit of a rough go. Gold Chevron Spears? Yeah. We'll see how good it does them. So Razel's going with the Minotaur Rush. He's not going for Chariots, which the video that came out yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever the Khazriks getting too old for this video came out, the Papa Palpatine versus Cathay box with Chariots, that was pre-patch. So Chariots can disrupt a little bit. The main problem is that their charge seems to target the first unit in the front row rather than the middle of the unit, so they just stop dead on their charge. Which is still a problem that was reverted from the beta for some reason that we don't know why. It was acknowledged. Because if you look at my pre-patch content, like the beta content, Chariots were doing really well. You can specifically look at the Chaos Dwarfs versus Empire replay I had with Dav Plays, or the Khorne versus Chaos Dwarf replay I had with Dav, where the Gorbius Chariots / the Skullcrackers really did penetrate infantry lines well. They did a good amount of damage, and the Skullcrackers even helped carry the game for me. And on live patch, that's just not the case. They get stuck a lot easier. They don't penetrate nearly as far on the charge, things like that. So it's just like noticeably different. And I redid my test of the Hellflayers versus Clan Rats, and they did about 30% less damage than they did in my test video. So something's different about the patch than the beta. And it's really disappointing, because Chariots were Like, Chariots coming back into being functional would discourage box play super heavily. Because just infantry with no mass, Chariots go burr. But don't know what happened, don't know why that decision was made, but for some reason the charging fixes overall, because it affected Cav, big SEMs, and Chariots, it didn't come through. So now all those things are worse, and that still makes boxes pretty good. I think Solana's Chariots against Cathay, they even get stuck on archers because of the passive, yeah. The nation calls! Kazark's already good, yeah. Little different build this time. Still a box with a bunch of halberds that were buffed because I don't know why. CA wanted the box to be even stronger. But Jade Warrior halberds that were buffed. 4 Iron Hail Gunners in tight box formation. We have Miao Ying yet again, who for some reason got a cost decrease. She got nerfs in other areas, but she did get a cost decrease, making her even easier to bring in these types of things. 2 Sky Junks and the Righteous Lancers of Wei Jin. For the Beastmen, we do have 2 Centaurs, 2 Harpies, or these Furies. These are Harpies. The Butchers of Kalgard, 2 other Minotaurs with shields, a Bracium of Wilds with Traitorkin that'll actually do a lot of damage to Miao Ying, and the 2 War Balloons if you can get them all in one thing. Torok's Brass Bull, 1 Archer, and a front line of Ungor Herds, plus Blackhorn's Ravagers Gore Herd. GG. So all this talk from CA about fixing Chariots was in vain. Something went wrong with the patch there. They haven't talked to me. I did ask them about it, and they have not answered yet, and that was like yesterday, which is a little strange for them, so hopefully they're working on it. If it was an intentional decision, then yes, that was weird. If they, like, in the beta, they were playing with it and they didn't like it or something, then if they reverted it, then that was just a strange choice because it incentivizes, like, really bad play. How's the Chaos Dwarf boxing going? I haven't seen a lot of that. They tend to struggle with boxes because their infantry that can actually hold in the box are really expensive, and their chaff is utter garbage, but, like, it's intentionally utter garbage. Hey, Blackthorn. Been a while. How you doing? Iron Hail Gunners are starting to poke out. Minotaurs are going to back off. They don't want to take that sauce. They don't want to take that damage. And the Cathay Sky Junks will provide harmony in the late game. For now, they are just harassing all of the Ungors on their way in. And Torox pushes straight through the front line. He is going to get onto the Iron Hail Gunners. Probably will get a nice charge off. Boop! Somersault. And nice. Now he has to worry about getting completely Gatling gunned down by a whole bunch of Iron Hail Gunners, but we'll see how that goes. Centaurs are going to try and sneak through the gaps. They are going to try and hit these Iron Hail Gunners. A Traitorkin cast is going to hit Miao Ying. It is overcast. It also hits all these infantry. I don't know how much damage it does versus infantry. I don't think it is a lot. Meanwhile, the Harpies are getting thrown at the Sky Junks. Well, one is at least. And while it can't actually do that much damage to the Sky Junks, it will stop it from shooting for a bit, which is all the Beastmen really need out of it. We already have terror routes coming in for some of the Iron Hail Gunners. Other Iron Hail Gunners are disrupted, and the Beastmen have gotten a very effective collapse in. They are just shutting down a lot of things. Now, Peasant Long Spears are inundating them. Centaur's taking a ton of damage from those little Peasant Spears, but it is what it is. The Righteous Lances of Wei Jin land, and since they're no longer in the sky, both the Sky Junks can get shut down, though the Harpies are straight up losing to the Sky Junk. Because when it fires at stuff, ignoring them, it'll kill a bunch of them with things. God damn it. Sky Junks need to take a lot more damage from Harpies. I don't know why this unit has 80 armor. It just seems silly. And it has like 10,000 HP for being a balloon. Chaos Dwarves are degenerate as fuck. Maybe? In our stream of just playing against them constantly, I didn't see any issues with them, but I did face a pretty toxic build game 1 of this stream. We barely managed to beat it, but it was pretty meh. Continuing to fire are the Sky Junks. One actually managed to save itself from the Harpies with no help. Torox is still trying to find a Miao Ying, trying to fight her. Iron Hail Gunners are largely just blocked up, so they can't really fire at all, but the Peasant Long Spears sitting here with harmony buffs. They do have 31-39 with a bonus versus large of 17, and that is a 350 gold peasant unit. Also, we have 700 or 750 gold halberds with 30-50 for melee stats, which is kind of wild. That if you include their bonus versus large, they're getting near chosen level, 4650. So yeah, it's a little dumb. people don't like Cathay boxes, and I wonder why. Miao Ying is losing to Trox currently, though she does have healing she can give herself, because of course she can, because God forbid this faction not be good at boxing. Righteous Lance's Wei Jin do go back into the sky at last. They're trying to peel these harpies off of the sky junks as if they even need it. Trox is continuing to beat the shit out of Miao Ying, even with her regrowth trying to heal her up. Archers are firing into peasant long spears, just trying to clear those guys out without having to rely on melee. We do have Minotaurs still cyclo-charging in and out, but Scout Guard even chilling back, healing, and they will catch out these Iron Hill Gunners who are trying to rejoin the fight. Yao Ying is going to turn into a poofy dragon and fly away. I think it starts her out flying, so I don't think Torox can just continue to follow her. Yeah, she is flying, so she gets out of that Lord fight that was not going very well for her. She can just chill out in the sky until she's ready to come back down. Harpies fighting a sky junk have gotten 300 value before getting peeled off by just the sky junk itself, because reasons. Sky junks are dumb. Cathay is dumb. The balloons have more armor than Silverguard? Yeah. Seems the creators are trying to get Bull Centaurs nerfed already. Remember Bellicor and Icy arguing over Cathay box? Yeah, Cathay boxes are toxic and not fun. Everybody knows that. It is unfortunate. Like, I will defend Persian Warrior on this, though. It is entirely how they are incentivized to play. Like, everything about Cathay is incentivized around boxing with an infantry blob. Like, it's horrendous, but if you're playing anything else, you're trolling, unfortunately. All right, another Traderkin onto Miao Ying. She is still getting stalked by Torox, and Torox is not going to let her land, and now she transforms into a human. So she is actually just stuck with this, because the human obviously won't get her out of trouble at all. Archers trying to get nearer to the balloons, but they will just get routed off by getting shot in the head. Butcher's Calcan Guard and Centaurs trying to fight these Peasant Long Spearmen. Peasants Long Spearmen are going to kill all of them. The balance of power is about even. It is not over, as Torox continues to put this game on his fucking back, and he is going to slap Miao Ying around. She's taking a lot of damage, and if she transforms back into her human form, I do wonder if she just dies before she can get a regrowth off. It is possible. Righteous Lance Persuasion diving down into the Minotaurs who were chasing off a lot of things. I wonder if another Traderkin's coming in as Torox is just manhandling Miao Ying. He's gonna take her out. She tries to transform back into her human form so she can at least get an Earthblood off or something. Maybe she has a regrowth already, but Torox is really trying to get the hits in. He misses that last one that could have been crucial. She turns into a human. She is down here. She's down to 7 leadership. Getting lower, one more hit will rout her, because on foot she does not have ITP. She does not have cause fear, so she is affected by fear right now. She is getting very, very, very low. Torox, you need to swing one more time, buddy. If he can snipe out Miao Ying, there is a chance for the Beastmen in this game, but it's not looking great. Miao Ying is routed. Torox hits her in the mouth. She is routed. If the Bray Shaman has an undercasted Traderkin he could cast right here, it would do a lot of damage to the Righteous Lances and help him finish off Miao Ying. This is pretty huge. This is a big moment. And Centaurs and Minotaurs joining the fight. Cathay maybe going down as Miao Ying down to 400 HP, not leadership. That would be insane. And the Righteous Lances are trying to get out of here again. The Traderkin would be nice. And these Sky Junks are very healthy. The Sky Junks have a ton of ammo, but if you can kill everything on the ground, which is a tall ask, you can just army loss them for them being flying units. They literally can't land. Righteous Lances situation to escape. Torox is chasing down Miao Ying. He is going to finish her off. There's no hope for her coming back. It's just whether she can get off the map or not. He wants to kill her for sure to lower Cathay's leadership. Now, unfortunately, Jade Warrior Halberds that are on the ground do get the Harmony bonus from the Sky Junks, who are unkillable for the Beastmen at this point in the game. Torox still chases Miao Ying around, knocks her on the ground. He's going to walk over her body for a second, but he will be able to finish her off very soon. Harpies are chasing off those Iron Hill Gunners. The Minos that are left are rejoining the fight. They need the Blackburns Ravagers to get rid of the charge defense of the Peasant Long Spears, and then the Chariot and the Minos can push through. Unfortunate lag spike just as the impact was coming, but again, those charges are just fucked up, so they don't do any damage. Miao Ying is dead. Leadership spike comes in for Cathay. We'll see how long they can last without it. Beastmen are up significantly on the balance of power. I think this is much more even than it's giving them credit for, but we will see. Damage value slightly in the favor of the Beastmen. And a big shot from the Sky Junk is going to cause a bit of a mass rout here for the Beastmen. Trader King Caster is stuck in melee with halberds. He's going to take a lot of damage unless he gets out of here somehow. It looks like Centaurs and Minotaurs are going to jump in just try and save that boy as we get another lag spike. God damn it. God damn it. Stop with the lag. Most of the units are already dead. What are you even lagging about? Torox is full HP, but Torox could also die super quickly to just sitting in halberds. Big Traderkin hits 4 units, including the Sky Junk. I mean, sure, you just have to damage it at this point. It is a source of balance of power for Cathay. If you ever want to army loss them, you are going to have to get rid of it somehow. But hitting these Jade Warrior halberds is rather crucial too. For Cathay and their ground forces, we have the Long Marauders at 300 HP, 4 models. We have a Peasant that's close to dead, a Jade Warrior halberd that's close to dead. As far as the Beastmen go, everything is routing except for Torox, and he really does not want to be surrounded by these halberds, but he has to for now. He doesn't have any support coming back in. Butchers the Calcan Guard. Blackhorde's Ravagers are coming back. A little bit of friendly fire on the Long Marauders from the Sky Junk, it looked like. Ooh, the Longmas canceled the charge, so they're going to lose their charging leadership bonus, and now they have opponents are flanking them, so they get down to 0 leadership. If they rout again, they might shatter. I think they've routed once before, is entirely my point. Yep, they routed. They did not shatter, though, so they had actually have a little bit left. Harpies on the far side. The Beastmen are getting their second win. They are famous for. They are coming back. Torox just has to hold on a little bit longer. As a charge comes in, a terror out onto the Peasant Long Spears. Butchers of Calcan Guard pushing them through. No one here has ITP. The Butchers of Calcan Guard do cause terror. They are going to push everybody away. Peasant Long Spears rout. Jade Warrior halberds holding for now. Getting real low. Torox is in here fighting. His brass body should come off cooldown rather soon here. We'll see if it matters. Balance of power is getting closer to army losses territory. Another Traderkin is going to be huge. Again, the damage that he deals to these balloons and the damage that he deals to Jade Warriors. He's just trying to trigger army losses at the moment, because if he truly has to fight it out, he might fucking lose. Torox is not that good at clearing out a lot of stuff. The Jade Warrior halberds both leave. There's only flying units left that take the debuff, and Cathay is going down. The Beastmen do it. From the jaws of defeat, they climb their way out, say not today, jam their horns into the roof of the monster's mouth. The dragon dies and falls. It is over. It is over. What was looking so terrible for them in the early and mid-game, Torox just managed to put the game on his back, follow Miao Ying around, beat the shit out of him. And without Miao Ying, there was no healing, there was no leadership. They couldn't hold on. Beastmen win it. 1900 on Torox Brass Bull. Butcher Scout Guard only 600. Trader King Caster also 1900. Other Minos 900, 500. Centaurs did fine. Harpies did okay. Raiders got shut down. Ungor Herds got murdered. Miao Ying 400 value. 1100 on the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. 1600 and 1000 on the balloons. Jade Warrior halberds 600 apiece. Peasant Long Spearmen 600 almost across the board for them. That was very good. And the Iron Hail Gunners did not quite pay for themselves because Beastmen shut them down very nicely. That's why I played so poorly in semis. I knew we needed Razel in the finals. Yeah, that is a GG. The Beastmen win it all. Both players have abandoned me to my fate. So come with me for a second. Come with me for a second, my friends. Faction War is over. We will have the Beastmen. Sorry, not the Faction War. The Beastmen did win the qualifier. At this point, it did not matter. It was just for honor and pride. The qualifier is to decide who we get as our representatives. So I will go back through this list. Obviously, the Beastman who got the furthest was Razel, since he won the whole damn thing. So I'll slot him in as the Beastman representative. Persian War will be Cathay. Platypus will be Brett. Rocket will be VP, on and on and on until I get all 24 factions out of this bracket. If you think that was fun, if you are going to be awake, you can join the NA Time Zone 1. It is at 7 o'clock my time. It is 1:20 right now, so it is in 5 hours, 40 minutes. You can sign up for that. Hop in. This one, only the top 8. So that anybody who gets to the quarterfinals will be invited to the Faction War. We are just filling out the bracket. So we got 24 from the big tournament in the EU time zone that more people can participate in. In the NA/Australian time zone, we will just take the top 8, make a nice bracket of 32. But that is still there for you to participate. I do ask politely, if you already qualified, please do drop out of this one, because qualifying twice is not very nice. I already qualified, so I don't know if I'll play or not. I know Blood Penguin is a very, very good player, and he is not able to make it tonight. I might play in his honor. I'll ask my admins if that is kosher or not. So we'll figure that out. But if I do play, it'll be as Blood Penguin. But since I qualified as a Skaven, I will back out. I encourage anybody who has signed up for both. If you already qualified, please back out. If you have not qualified for something, feel free to play again. That's totally fine. If you can be awake for both, I don't see any harm in it. Join us for that stream in about 5 hours and 40 minutes. I will see you all then. All of you. If you go to bed, you're a coward. You're a coward. Goodbye.